boogie like Benson, I'm a who that.
I'm a who that.
Long as I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. Sports Coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that.
I'm a who that.
Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like Elf. I thank God every day I'm not a felt. Go to YouTube Live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your chain for the championship. Bucking on town, duck down. Falcons, pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy, then you probably smell the crooked referees on Roger Goodell. Yeah, running like this, and I'm a who that. Every day I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
Welcome. You're now rocking with the Sports Coma. Big Q and the guys, where we have intense, entertaining, educating, and an enlightening sport talk from your favorite sports fam. Good to see you, fam. Appreciate y'all being in the live stream, man. Much love to the Who Dat Nation. We up in this thing, man. Much love to the fam. Appreciate y'all. I'm feeling pretty good, man. I'm feeling pretty good. Shout out to the fam. Appreciate y'all being in the stream. Shout out to the fam. Appreciate y'all being in this thing. Because this one called How Good Are the 2023 Saints, man. All right, but big ups to the fam, man. Thank y'all for being in the stream. Tori Shepard, Trav 504, Jerry, OG Jerry, King Morrison, Kevin McKnight, Daniel, Gundam, 504, Cole. Big ups to everybody. Red Swarm, good to see you in the building. We up in this thing, man, and I thought it'd be a big positive to kind of go over some of the news notes and kind of get the family members in on this show to see how good is this team? How good is the Saints 2023 team? That's right. You got to show me, man. You got to show me. But anyway, we're going to talk about that today on this episode of the Coma. So please feel free to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Much love to the fam. Appreciate y'all. That boy alone, shout out, fam. Good to see you. Swagged out entertainment. Brother Gundam and everybody, man. Brother Slim is in this thing. Shout out to the fam. Listen, man, and listen. All right, Pammy. She said, I'm on the clock. All right, okay, I'm on the clock.
He ain't lying.
All right, then. All right, now. Okay, good to see y'all, man. That's what's up. All right, Quavadas, shout out to you. B Jizzle. What's poppin', fam? Good to see you. And I want to give a few shout out to a bunch of the family members that recently subscribed. Andrew Harris, Stanley Pouillard. I hope I'm saying that correct. Nomer Serdan, and that's some of the family members that's checking us out via Facebook. And shout out to you guys as well. Appreciate you guys hitting the like button on Facebook. Big ups to the groups that's showing a lot of love to the family members. Brother James, shout out to you. Good to see you as well, sir. Much love to you, fam. Appreciate you. All right. He says you keep me home and all, even though I'm in Jacksonville. All right, brother. Hey, man, you know I got to represent the Who Dat Nation, baby. What's up, Brother Trail? Shout out to you, Brandon. I see you, fam. Much love. Brother Trey, I see you, fam. Shout out to my dog, Trey. Joseph in this thing. Fam, let's talk some Saints, man, tonight. Can we talk some Saints tonight, man? I know it's a Wednesday. It's hot as a son of a gun, man. Let me tell you something, fam. Listen, let me tell you, man. I just been like, fam, you know, your boy been on a fast, man. You know, I just been fasting, man. Your boy been on a fast, man. You know, just been breaking it down, man. Working it out, breaking it down. And I don't want to say too much. But, you know, sooner or later, y'all probably going to hear about it. Your boy might be touching down on the show. I ain't going to be telling you. I ain't going to talk too much about it. Y'all. But when y'all see it, y'all going to say, oh, hey. I ain't going to tell you which one because y'all going to hear about it. Probably going to end the fall. So when y'all hear about it, I'm pretty sure that when people hear about it, they're going to be hitting me up. So It's all good, man. I'm just expanding my horizons, man. And fam, it's just another level I've been kicking it to. So, all right, there you go, yo.
You ain't lying.
All right, there you go. There you go. Shout out to your OG Jerry. Tough Tiger Talk, baby. That's another one of our platforms. Be laying it down, fam. All right, J Sticks Jefferson, where you been at, man? Shout out to you, fam. Good to see y'all as well. Now, the name of this one, fam, is called pretty much How Good Are the 2023 Saints? How good are they? That's what we need to talk about. How really good are the Saints? Because we get a lot of, and right now just to give the disclaimer, sooner or later we'll get to the point of the season where we'll get an opportunity to see them with all the equipment on, going at each other. We got a little bit to go. We ain't that far off, so we got a little bit to go, but we gonna get there. But how good are the Saints team? And we do this every year. Every year we go over it right before training camp gets ready to kick in. Big camp shows up. How really good is this 2023 team? Not too many weaknesses. Every team has a weakness, so they're not perfect. But how good is this 2023 Saints? We had an opportunity to maul them over from position group to position group, starting from the top down, from the quarterback position on down to the running back position, to the tight end, the wide receiver, O-line, D-line, linebacker, cornerback, safety, line, whatever, special teams, the specialists. We've had an opportunity to kind of maul them over. And as an amalgamation or a collective, how good is this 2023 team in your perspective? So we're going to get that today. We're going to get into it. All right, shout out to the fams. Straight from popping in from Los Angeles. Shout out to St. Gomer. Shout out to your fam. Demetrius, shout out to you, brother, way up in Minnesota, man. Shout out to you as well. And the rest of the family members chiming in from all over the world, man. From time to time, I used to ask the family members, where y'all chiming in from, and I appreciate some of the family members dropping game on where they chiming in from. Young City Nightwater, I see you, fam. Pelicans, NOLA, shout out to y'all. Appreciate y'all being in the stream. So we're going to go over a couple of articles right here, and then I'm going to open up the phone lines. I know I haven't done that in a while, and I'm not, and listen, Pam and Whammy, she got the clock. She on the clock ticking, so I'm not going to hold y'all very long to tonight because it is a Wednesday. We still got a couple of days left, Thursday and Friday to the weekend, man. We doing good. Let me tell you something. We doing good. We doing good, baby.
He ain't lying.
So we just got to keep it going, man, and keep it positive, keep it prosperous. We going to roll this thing, man. So Nate Frog, shout out to you. He said, truth be told, we'll go as far as car takes us, And, of course, we got the clock, so we'll run the show tonight. So give me a second. Let me get an opportunity to put the link in the chat, man. And for the family members that's here as well, there's also a link in the description section that's pinned to the top of the chat. Man, listen, there's an email. You can also find it on our community section. You can feel free to go there and hit that email. It's very simple, man. You put your email, you go there, click the link, put your email in there, and boom, you hit send and bam. And just like that, you're on the email list to get notified. And that's for all of the shows that we do, even stuff that won't be on here. You get an opportunity, so jump on there. Now, I got you, Pam. She's saying it, hey, man, y'all can't be having all these old rumbling people on there, Q. You can't be 5-minute link. Man, y'all cold, man. Y'all some cold-blooded. Y'all cold on that one. All right, so anyway, give me a second. Let me link it. Drop that link in the chat. Bam to the fam. All right, we up in that thing, and I'm going to kind of put that there as well. That's going to be the link. I'm going to take a few calls tonight from the family members, and it's going to be pretty cool. So let's jump right into it, fam. Let's get an opportunity to get into it. And this is one, and listen, Bob Rose is on fire with some of these things, man. Let me just be honest with you. The way Bob operating, man, he on fire with these articles, to be honest with you. He writing really good articles, and he covering a lot of stuff that that as a collective we want to know about. He's on it. And this article kind of shows that he's basically covering some information that a national site was talking about in terms of ranking the Saints. And I had an opportunity to go over the piece that he was talking about. And as I was going over the piece and I was reading some of the stuff, it really was just like a milk toast run over or breakdown of the Saints as they attempted to try to do every team in the NFL, and they ranked the Saints somewhere in the 20th, I think, in terms of overall talent. Now, listen, I had an opportunity to be able to look at everybody's moves. I've been paying attention to everybody's. I mean, all these NFL people's moves. Now, not to the degree of our moves, but I know where we are in terms of being in the NFC South. What is the weaknesses of our team? What's the strengths of our team? Even though we've had changeover, just like many of the other teams, and like one of the family members said, that we'll go as far as Carr takes us. A transportation pun. But see, but the reality is we're going to go as far as Dennis Allen takes us. So that's the big caveat here is Carr, because I really actually think Carr will do well for the Saints. I actually think he will. I think he'll do really well with the Saints. And he's talking about, having a chip on your shoulder. And that's some of the things that you have to have from week to week. When you feeling people are disrespecting you, you have to have that chip on your shoulder and prove, not necessarily them wrong, but to show yourself what you can do. And guys that are champions and overachievers like Michael Thomas and Drew Brees and guys like that, of that ilk, that have that spirit, that competitive fire, those guys will find anything to motivate them. So if it was injuries that sidelined you for the last several years and people are saying you're done, that's a motivation for a guy like Can't Guard Mike to show and prove everybody wrong. So at the end of the day, you look at it and you say, man, this guy was at one point one of the top wide receivers in the NFL. He's about, 30 years? He's turning 30 years old right now. He's like, oh, Mike's over the hill. The truth of the matter is Mike might have missed a lot of games over the last 3 years. But, also the positive is he didn't, he didn't impact a lot of, damage, you want to say. He was rehabbing a lot of that time, getting right. So he didn't absorb a lot of NFL abuse over that 3-year stand of time. You see what I'm saying? So he's able, when he gets healthy, not if, but when, and it appears that he is healthy, and he already said that I'm going full, I'm going in 100, I'm going in 100. So we good. I'm about to take it to the next level, baby. You heard me? We about to go back to the top. He didn't say it like that, but his actions in my New Orleans vernacular, that's what I'm interpreting from Michael Thomas, is that he's ready to show out and, show up and show out. Saints gave him a 1-year deal, so it is on the table. So credit for the Saints being really patient with Michael Thomas, because they believe that Michael Thomas can, to a degree, assume what he was. Now, he doesn't have the speed. He never had the speed. But what really excites me about this opportunity is the fact that he has a serious competitor, or not a competitor, but a companion, rather, next to him who he can feed off of. You got a guy that can take the roof or the top off the defenses. You got a guy that's a possession weapon with big hands that catch everything. So do you really think they're going to be double guarding Mike? You know what I'm saying? They're going to play Mike to the left and they're going to get tore up behind it. The Saints offense, I really think they're going to be all right. But once again, we'll cover it. So anyway, let's get into this article right here. Some of the family members that's popping in that's on ready for the call stream. Y'all stay right where you're at. And I'm going to get as many as y'all as possible for this stream. So shout out. Andrew, what's up, fam? Andre Guerrero chiming in from San Antonio, baby. And they got Wemby out there. I know y'all excited about Wemby out there in San Antonio, man. Shout out to you guys. All right, DJ Twigger, what it do, baby? Shout out to you. Good to see you, sir. Much love, brother JT. And this thing, T Dirty, my dog. Good to see you in the building. Tied with the facts. Good to see you as well. Can you too, you? Shout out to you too, brother. Appreciate you. Try saying that 5 times in a row. Ramsey, shout out to you, fam. Appreciate you as well. So let's get into this article from Bob Rose, fam, as we cover it here. And this is basically what it breaks down as. Saints had a busy offseason, missed the playoffs for 2 straight years, finished with double-digit losses, 7-10 for the first time since 2005. In response, they were highly aggressive on both sides of the ball. Adding Derek Carr to lead the offense. They brought in a 1,000-yard rusher with 17 rushing touchdowns. You want to put that on top of that. Put that on top of that as well, because, man, that's huge. Jamal Williams. Compliment Elvin Kamara. 3rd-round pick Kendre Miller to the draft. And defense, never forget about the bruising and versatile Taysom Hill is in that thing. multi-dimensional backfield joins a strong cast of pass catchers that includes Chris Olave, Ken Guard Mike, Rashid Shaheed, along with Jawan Johnson and newly signed tight end Foster Moreau. Saints have a potential to dominate on the offensive side of the ball and dominate offensive line, but one plagued by injuries over the last several years. Now, the improved firepower is expected to cause the Saints to rise significantly out of the doldrums where they dwelled the last 3 seasons. This could potentially be the team's most talented offensive group since the prime of Drew Brees. And that's a lot to heap on, but the truth is that if you look at it, just using your imagination, I know we have not put on, but family members going to get on here. And listen, I'm not debating my family members because, the great Saint think tank is undefeated. But what I'm saying is, if we use our imagination, because that's all we can do right now when we look at the team, is use our imagination and see what kind of team it is. Now, to put them up there with some of the prime Drew and the units that he was working with, you go back and watch the film like it's a different type of team, because Drew Brees is a different dude. He's a lot different from Carr. No disrespect to Carr, and Carr knows this. That's a tall order to be him. So the Saints are not going to put that all on him to be that or say he got to do this like him. No, the Saints have loaded up the offense and have left no lack of talent. They have a strong running back room that will be brutal when they decide to be effectively starting running the ball first. They got wide receivers behind the top 3 that will be really interesting when camp get going. I get really excited because I think about some of the guys that don't get a lot of the press. Guys like veteran wide receiver James Washington that came over from the Steelers and whatchamacallit. That guy is healthy. He's good. He's fast. He can catch. Where does he fit in this stuff? Lynn Bowden Jr., who we picked up, from a former University of Kentucky player, been around the league, the Dolphins, the Raiders. Has speed, can catch the ball, has versatility. The Saints' imagination with these players is going to be out of worldly. That's all I can say. Good luck to the defenses trying to stop ISs this year. And defensively, the Saints finished 5th overall, 2nd against the pass, but plummeted against the run, ranked 24th. That was the Achilles heel of the Saints' defense last year, was the fact that they could not stop anybody running the ball. They had that bend but don't break thing. Remember, we had those long drives where teams will march on the Saints and then they get to the red zone, and the Saints, after 7 minutes on the field, they'll get the team to kick a field goal. Then they get the ball back, and then they go one and done and send the defense back. Boy, could you imagine, man? This is going to be fun this year, man. I'm feeling it. All right, so 24th ranked run last year. Defensive-minded head coach Dennis Allen returns. However, the unit will have a new coordinator, Joe Woods. Love Joe Woods. Love Joe Woods. Big difference to the team in terms of the offense. We know that Dennis Allen takes a hands-off approach when talking about the offense because he puts it all in Pete Carmichael's hands, right? You got Coach Ronald Curry operating the passing game. He's operating as the passing game coordinator, and he'll be in a union with Carmichael, and Curry. Those guys will have to get it all together and figure out the best plays that will bring the most success to a guy like Derek Carr. And we talked about this on the Patreon special last night, is the fact that that's would be one of the things that's a recipe for success if you're the New Orleans Saints, because you want to find out what this guy, what kind of plays he likes, and run the damn plays. So Carmichael is going to do that with Carr, and trust me, that will make a hell of a difference as opposed to trying to fit this guy into what you're doing. Hey, what do you like to do? How do well, I like such and such play. That's crazy. We run that play, but we don't call it Swizzle Stick 99. We call it Chink Chunk 95-16. Oh, okay. Yeah, well, you see what I'm saying? It's just similar plays, but the verbiage is different, you see? So that's all he has to do. And the guy has the ability, based on the fact that he had 5 coordinators. That's insane. In 10 years, 5 coordinators, and Carmichael makes his 6th coordinator in 10 years. That's crazy, man. 5 coordinators. That's insane. But anyway, Joe Woods, big difference for him. I talked about this. What's the biggest difference, and why does Dennis Allen appear to look so, comfortable, like he just got a massage somewhere, because Joe Woods comes here and he takes a lot of the onus in terms of the leadership duties of the defense. Everybody reports to Joe Woods that's in the defense. Everybody. And Joe Woods is a guy, like, you look at him, he's called the defensive coordinator, but his specialties is in the secondary. Like, I think he'll be operating, I think I remember him saying that he'll be working with the cornerbacks, and Marcus Robinson, who's the special teams the secondary coach, will be working with the safeties. So that's his specialties in the secondary. Then you have everybody reporting to Joe. Joe Woods is a smart dude. I played several of his interviews. He's an incredibly likable guy. He's very knowledgeable. I've played footage with Joe Woods instructing people, telling them what they got to do. Very cool, very likable guy. Love him being here. He loves working with Dennis Allen, props Dennis Allen up for giving him opportunities. And that's good because everybody goes to Joe Woods. Now, while everybody's going to Joe Woods and everybody's going to Pete Carmichael and everybody's going over here to Darren Rizzi, who's the special teams coordinator, what does Dennis Allen do? How does that improve Dennis Allen as a head coach? Because you got a guy that take a lot of the defensive stuff off of him, and he says, I will still be calling the defensive plays. So everything else Joe Woods has, and for the plays, I will still be calling the plays. Okay, if that's the case, then how does that help Dennis Allen? See, then and all my reporter friends out there, please, when you get an opportunity, because I've been reaching out to them to get that answer done. I mean, directly to the Saints to get an answer for that, because I've been reaching out for interviews directly with Dennis Allen and Mickey Loomis. All right, so I'm gonna get that answer, man. I promise you, I'm gonna get that answer. Is what improvement did Dennis Allen make as a head coach from a personal standpoint that people can say, oh, okay, I got it. I see what you're gonna do. What is that? Don't say we. Don't say, well, we decided to do. No. What did you do? Because it's on you if you don't succeed. You can't blame Joe Woods if the defense don't work, or Pete Carmichael. Well, he probably, they're gonna try to scapegoat it. But if failure happens, is at the head coach is in control of the team, he has to suffer the blame. So and I was listening to some of his interviews, a lot of stuff I like from Dennis Allen I was hearing. But then when it come down to personal accountability, I don't like the fact that that I don't hear a lot of personal accountability from Dennis Allen. I don't like that. I really don't like, because you're supposed to, at the end of the season, when it was a failure, you're supposed to go and look at what you did wrong. And I don't know, I'm not hearing that. I'm not hearing that. So maybe we'll hear it as we get further in, but I'm not hearing that right now. So anyway, all right, so Joe Woods is here. New defensive line coach is Ty Grantham, who comes in with a wealth of experience from the pro and college level. Marcus Robinson, who's a really cool dude, heard him doing some instruction, former player. A lot of people like Marcus Robinson to come into the secondary. How does the secondary look with some of these new guys in here? Time will tell. Saints also revamped a disappointing defensive tackle position. First-round choice, Brian Breesy. Free agent additions, Nate Shepard. Biggs Saunders, as he calls himself. Isaiah Foskey, their second-round pick, who will look to replace Marcus Davenport. New Orleans has a ton of talent returning to that side of the ball. Cam Jordan, Demario Davis, Marshawn Lattimore, Tyrann Mathieu, among the league's best at their position. Rising stars like Alante Taylor, Paulson Adebo, Pete Werner, Carl Grandison, join reliable veterans. I don't know how reliable, but Marcus May and Bradley Roby, and Tanu Passanio. So they form a deep and potential elite unit. So, man, we're looking all right. So anyway, in the article, this was Pro Football Focus that we're speaking about on June the 26th. The writers were Dalton Wasserman and Jim Wyman collaborated to rank the Saints from in the NFL teams rankings from 1 to 32, correct? So this is what they said. They had them ranked at 19. They said that evaluation, Saints, biggest strengths in 23, passing game. Andy Dalton shockingly finished the 22 season with an 81.0 passing rating, sixth best in the NFL. And see, that's when I look at, and when they start talking about statistics like this, because it's stats and actual play. And sometimes the two join in union and have a long and beautiful life together, and sometimes they do not. It's something different when you see, okay, he had 81 point, that means Andy Dalton was shining. No, he wasn't shining. He wasn't shining. It was games where he just couldn't get the offense to go. So you can have good stats in some of these games, but you're not the offense in many of these offensive games we watched last year here on this channel in particular. It was stuck in the mud. So 6th best in the NFL. Olave, Rashid Shaheed look like foundational pieces moving forward as well. Saints offense looks much better than they expected, given that Dalton wasn't the starter to open the season. Michael Thomas appeared in only 3 games, and they were in the NFC South race through Week 17, primarily due to Dalton's effort. yeah. Due to Dalton's effort? Who watching these? Is he watching it? If Carr can post similar numbers, New Orleans should have the best offense in the NFC South in 2023. So if Carr can post numbers similar to Andy Dalton, who nobody in this chat don't think that Derek Carr can post numbers similar to what Andy Dalton did with the Saints offense last year. It's a big difference when you actually see it versus you just running off stats. So you might have seen a handful of games, but, man, I sit up here and watch these games just like a lot of the great Saint think tank. And let me tell you something. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't pretty. Our biggest weaknesses in 23, offensive line and defensive line. So they're saying you kind of dirty in the trenches, Saints. Who that nation? You dirty in the trenches. They said the Saints ranked 26 in both pass blocking and run blocking grades. The defensive line graded out as 4th worst pass rushing unit in the NFL. For years, the Saints were loaded with talent up front on both sides of the ball. That talent has slowly eroded away. As started to catch up with a few, says age is starting to catch up with a few guys. Cam Jordan, Andrews Pete. What? Now in terms of Andrews Pete, you're right, because Andrews' body, I like Andrews, and I always defended Andrews on the show for years. Y'all know that. Because he didn't get a fair shake when he got here, and I stood and protected Andrews and spoke up for Andrews. But yeah, he's been banged up a lot because, and I can't, people saying Andrews is soft and all. Andrews is not soft. Andrews will play through injury, even to his detriment. And if you can't say the man's soft if he's sitting up there playing through injury, and he's done that a lot, maybe to his detriment, where he had all these compounding injuries. And I remember the man had a cast on his hand and he was out there playing, man. So I got to credit him at least that. But they reworked his contract. 1 year left on the contract. We got several offensive lineman players coming up next year that, that's going to be about of their contract. So it's going to be fun to see how the Saints retool for the 24 season. But Andrews Pete has got to step his game up. But the Saints also have insurance policies in place if he doesn't. One of them is James Hurst, who's also going to be a free agent for next year. So that's going to be interesting. So, but Cam has always showed up. Cam has stepped. He missed 1 game and 13? How long he been here? 13 years? Is it 13 years? Cam missed 1 game, right? And that was the C-19 time he got benched and he couldn't play. But Andrews Pete is the opposite. Andrews needs to step up and have a good season for the Saints. While younger players like Penning and Cesar Ruiz needs to step up. Cesar Ruiz did step up last year. Cesar Ruiz was granted, and thanks to the offensive line coach, Doug Marrone, working with him, and now we got Jari Evans there. Cesar Ruiz was our most effective and consistent offensive lineman last year. Huh? Now, if the year started off and you had to bet money on that, you'd have won a lot of money. But Penning he got to step up. It was crazy how the Saints had Penning healthy late in the year last year, but didn't play him. They just had him on I was like, why don't they play the guy? And they waited till I think the final game of the season to play him. But anyway, Penning is the guy that they're saying is the X factor. The jury's still out on Penning after he played just 124 snaps in his rookie season. He got healthy, and the Saints didn't bring him in toward the back end of the year. He was in there for fluff duty, coming in there as an extra blocker, and and I was like, man, that's a first-round pick. Let's see what the guy can do. But the Saints chose to kind of hold him in. He showed flashes of natural aggressiveness, posting a 80.2 run blocking grade. His 38.7 pass blocking grade is ugly, but it rises to 56.2. He gets better, man. Penning, to me, is a talented, big, athletic, nasty offensive lineman that we need we need that grit that he has. And I wish that whatever Penning has, the grit and nastiness that he has, that he goes over to Ryan Ramczyk's house and slap the piss out of Ryan Ramczyk and say, hey, man, wake the hell up.
He ain't lying.
Because we need Ryan Ramczyk to play like Penning, not to, under control. But Ryan Ramczyk, man, you need to show up and show out. I'm surprised that a lot of people ain't on you as more than I am. And people just kind of gave the man a pass. After the 3 or 4 years he was balling out, soon as he got the money, he looked like crap. Like, well, Q, he was hurt. Man, listen, bro, I hear you on that. But unless he was missing half of his leg, it's no excuse why you look that bad. I mean, he looked pedestrian out there. Ryan Ramczyk, to me, didn't flash up on most games. For real. And I love Ryan Ramczyk's play, his first 4 years. But he got the paper and he got hurt, and then it all looked differently. Ryan Ramczyk, man, where are you? We need you to step the hell up this time. I'm going to be honest with you. He got to step the hell up. So, I mean, this is what we got to do. So, anyway, we'll have to compete. You have to compete with James Hurst, but the opportunity is there for the take. And I think Penning gets it because, you look at Hurst as our swing guy. He's our sixth lineman. He's our swing guy, filling for you at the guard or tackle, even though the Saints are fulfilling potentially a good bench or a backup role for some of these guys. I like some of these guys they're bringing in. I like the Storm Nortons. I like the Billy Millers. I like those. I like the guys that they're bringing in here. I like the draft pick, Nick Saldiveri. I like what they're doing there, as Saldiveri obviously is going to be the replacement for Andrews Pete, but the Saints got work to do next year. But this year, it's a whole nother thing. Rookie to watch, Brian Bresee. First round pick, most talented defensive tackle on the team's roster. I don't know about all that. A generational recruit at Clemson. He got a lot of talent. He still got to show up a lot of stuff. Bresee never quite lived up to the hype. He needs some refinement to his technique and better health moving forward. He is healthy. We played the interview when he says, yes, I'm healthy. I'm ready to go. He has the physical skills to be a foundational piece for the Saints. And I love Brian Brese's play. He's healthy out of his own mouth. Love what he brings. He fits well with I got to give it to Dennis Allen. Soon as you seen David Onyemata and Shai Tuttle jump on the plane and go to the NFC South rivals, they had them guys in here lickety split. We talking about Colin Saunders. We talking about Nate Shepard, and then the draft pick of Brian Bresee and the second round pick of Isaiah Foskey. I love what the Saints did there, adding Bresee along with Saunders and Shepard, re-signing Malcolm Roach, and then I'm anticipating passing your plan more inside than outside. They have some undrafted guys, and perhaps one of these undrafted guys can go, and challenge Roach for for that backup role. I'm telling you, better listen. We're gonna do more shows as we get closer to the training camp, but guys to keep an eye out for, you better watch out for Jaren Cage. You better watch out for Cage, man. I'm telling you, Cage is somebody you better keep an eye out on. There's a couple of guys we're going to talk about. We're going to move forward on some future shows. All right, so the over and under 9.5 wins. That's what they got for the Saints. Saints have major issues in the trenches. You got major issues. Bet you didn't know that. You got major issues. Derek Carr has a mediocre grading profile over the past year and a half. Over the past year and a half, not the 10 years he's been in the league. And the switch from Andy Dalton to Carr worth 3 wins. Oh, what is he talking about? What is he talking about, man? Dude, what is you talking about, man? These guys are crazy, man. What's wrong with these people, man? What's wrong with them? Is it worth 3? You damn right it's worth 3 years. Andy Dalton, man, who is this, his cousin? Dude, Andy Dalton is not the dude, man. Cut it out. He's not the guy. And really the Saints had a pretty good offense last year. If they would have they had the pieces in place. If it wasn't for bad personnel decisions, we'd have won more than 7 games. It was pure. I just want to remind you before we move on, the reason why the Saints ain't win a lot of games wasn't because of injuries. It was not because of injuries, even though they spill at every year. They started the year off saying, we won't fail. We won't use injuries as an excuse. And then by the end of the year, listen, the injuries, listen here, Q. Let me sprinkle game on you. The injuries, see, that's the problem.
See, that's where you missed out on. See, the injuries was the big thing. And I heard your broadcast a couple of days ago, and I disagree. Actually, it was injuries that really hurt us. And the second thing was injuries again. So you have to clean that up. Injuries on both sides. Okay, that's what happened. Okay.
So let me ask you this, Strange Sir. So injuries was the main reason why we failed.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it.
Okay, all right. So if injuries, you say that's the main reason 1 and 2. All right. So let me get this straight. We failed because of injury. It didn't have nothing to do with the fact that our head coach at the time, Dennis Allen, had friction with his quarterback, Jameis Winston. He had friction with him, in which Jameis went to the press, Triplet and Underhill. They went to Triplet and told him, they brung it out about him telling Dennis Allen that he lied to him. So we forgot about that, right?
Well, let me address that. Now, let you know, I'm not a spokesperson for the Saints. I'm just telling you that injuries was 1 and 2.
It don't make sense, that, Strange Sir, because the reality is it wasn't exclusively injuries that hurt the Saints last year. It was bad personnel decision makings by the head coach. If you to move Andy Dalton out of there 3 or 4 games before the season ended, because Jameis Winston came off the injury report. He was no longer reported as a person on the IR. He came off, he was activated, and he was on the team for several weeks leading to the end of the season, where Jameis Winston was active and he wasn't on any IR list, or he wasn't even being reported as being hurt anymore. He was literally the 3rd string quarterback for several weeks getting toward the end of the season. And you've seen several pathetic performances leading toward the end of the season where we had an opportunity to switch gears and we did not do it. And I don't understand why you don't make that pull. You don't pull that trigger. And I told y'all when it happened, when he went through it, that he didn't address it. And they hashed it out later on. But I told you, I said, let's see how he handled it. But I promise you that Jameis won't see the field for the rest of the season. I told y'all that. And it went exactly like I said, because it don't have nothing to do with Jameis' health at the end of the season. It had everything to do with the fact that Jameis crossed him. That's what happened, because Jameis thought that his best route to get to the field was to use the media and people on the outside to pressure Dennis Allen to explain what's going on with his star quarterback. That's what happened. And listen, poor straight out pettiness. Why you got 7 wins last year because he had an opportunity to switch gears. He had it. And he chose not to do it. He seen them stinking like we seen them stinking. And he sat up there and pretended like and took Andy Dalton and put him on his shoulders and like, yeah, Andy's doing a great job. Andy's doing a great job. Man, you cut it out, man.
He ain't lying.
But that's what I'm saying. It was crazy, man. But no, it wasn't, Strange Sir. You can take your ass on up out of here. That wasn't the truth. All right, so the division will likely be won with 8 or 9 wins. It's hard to see any team winning 10 games. I don't agree with that, and that's the rest of their stuff. So I don't agree with the Saints being ranked that low. I think this stuff is incredibly weak. There's no disrespect to the article writers. I just think it was incredibly weak and cheesy, to be honest with you, because the reality is you can't look at the Saints and say, is getting Derek Carr worth 3 more wins? Yes, it is. And who says it's going to be 3 more wins? Don't you understand? 3 more wins mean your dumb ass in the playoffs? 3 more wins, you in the playoffs. So, I mean, at some point, man, some of these guys, man, I just be thinking that somebody's nephew or a second or third cousin, somebody married into the family, and somebody was an editor somewhere. Hey, man, I'm working at a factory. Hey, won't you come over here and write for us? Well, I'm over there. So, I mean, come on, man. You got to do your research. Or talk to people that know the team and cover the team. We're going to keep it real deal Holyfield with you. So, I mean, anyway, let's get to this other article right here, family. NFL announces start date for the 2023 New Orleans Saints training camp. So this is the article right here. As you can see, and we know what time it is, that the Performance Center a week later, July the 25th, which was already reported locally, that marks the official start of the Saints training camp, at which point everyone will go through the conditioning test to determine whether they're ready to start work right away or open camp on a reserve list. Still waiting on information for the dates in which the family members can obtain observed practices. The Saints typically open up free tickets, and I was there last year. They also do these sessions at Wyman. I didn't get an opportunity to go to Wyman for that particular time, but we did go last year. We met several of the Saints players. They were pretty cool, and we met a couple of the family members as well. So it was pretty cool, man. Meet some of them guys and talking and seeing some of the writers and stuff like that. So it's a big community, man. But it's really cool to kind of mix in and talk to people and mingle and all this kind of great stuff. That's just love that, man. Love that. Also, I'm not. So if family members ask you going, I'm not attending. Because just to be honest with you, remember until they show me, I gotta lay back in the cut. But we're going to be doing some other stuff going on. We're going to have some meet and greets with the family members. That's why I've been working, getting it all together for the family members, and your boy been, like I said, man, they got some stuff I was going to be doing. Y'all going to see me out there. It's probably going to air in the fall, but I ain't going to sprinkle too much game on it right now. But I've been doing some stuff. But anyway, shout out to the fam. But listen. Oh, thank you, Lo. Shout out to my brother, Lo, man. Shout out to you. And Lo, he said, somebody tell Big Q he owe me Hey, Lo, all I can tell you, brother, man, listen, man, they sent you an extra shirt, bro. Remember the score tee that Lo was, man, you lucky I don't have that picture up here, bro. Man, hold on. No, you done did it. You done did it now. Lo. You done did it now. Hold on. Let me bust that. Thank you for the super chat, bro. Yeah.
Yeah, boy.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate the super chat. Hold on, Lo. Hold on. Don't you go nowhere, brother. Lo done did it. He done messed around and done did it. I was trying to remember, man, I got a picture of Lo sporting that really nice score tee, man. Lo and his wife, shout out to Coach Ron that they came down, man. We had dinner at Bobby Hebert's restaurant in Metairie, and I want to give Bobby Hebert a shout out, man. Marley Mall stepped in the joint. Listen, man, it was really nice, man. Matter of fact, my mother went over there. I said, hey, man, go over there. My mom's went over there, and they had her birthday dinner over at Bobby Hebert's restaurant, and they liked it, man. So shout out to Bobby Hebert, man. But he has some good food. The Cajun Cannon, man. I think it's called the Cajun Cannon. It's pretty damn good, man. So hold on. Let me see if I can find Lowe's. Man, Lowe, you better hope I can't find. Uh-oh. It's too late. I done found it. Hold on, y'all. There it is. Hell, y'all take a good look at the man right there. There he is. What's up, Lo? Oh, there he is, Lo. What's up, baby? How you doing, bro? My dog Lo said they sent him 2 shirts. He said it must have been a mistake, Q. I said, nah, it wasn't no mistake. That's for next year when we bust y'all up. Then you can wear that for next year. Oh, there you go. We got him. Oh, much love to you, Lo. You my dog, man. That's my dog, man. Oh, boy, you look proud in that shirt. Man, say Lo look good in that shirt, don't he, family? Don't he look good, man? Look at Lo. Lo cheesed up in there. He looking happy. He ain't sad, man. Oh, man, yo, that's what's up, man. He rocking it, man. Lo looking good in that tee, man. Shout out to my dog. Oh, man, love you, brother. Love you, man. All right, so anyway, fam, let's get on in here, man. That's my dog, man. That's my boy. I got love for him, man. All right, so let's get an opportunity. Let's hear from some of the family members. We got Trey. Remember, family, if y'all want to pop in, the link is pinned to the top of the chat. Y'all guys can pop in. Let me hear what y'all think about the team, the article we just covered. Do you guys agree? Do you like the team? What, I guess, would be the best part about this upcoming team, in your opinion, and the worst part of the team? Because people talking about the NFC South, and I don't want to disparage or talk down on nobody else's team, because I know everybody's excited about this time frame. But we was like we did yesterday, we covered it on our Patreon live special for the family members, our YouTube members, and our Patreon family members. You know, you can check out we got tons of uncut material that we do there on Patreon. But we was showing, I was playing a interview, and I showed there was a graphic that popped up about experience in terms of the quarterback over the NFC South. And it showed Derek Carr was 60-something games, and it showed what's the other dude for the Buccaneers? Baker Mayfield. He had like 30-something games. They had 2 games for the Falcons and 0 games for the Panthers. And I'm like, see, the key to victories in the NFL, it's all about experience. Now, listen, I'm not going to take nothing away from the quarterback over there for Atlanta, because I scouted the dude. Like I said, the dude played a lot of games in college for Cincinnati. He played a lot of games for them. So if anybody was ready to come out and go to the pros, it was him. No doubt about it, man. He played a ton of games, and his game is cerebral. He's a smart dude. He don't make a lot of mistakes, but at the same time, it's like, it's a dynamic there. It's like, okay, the experience is the best teacher. That's how I was raised. Like, experience is the best teacher. You got a lot of young teams that got to figure it out. So we'll see how it goes in the NFC South, man. So we're going to start off with Trey. What's up, Colinator? Shout out to you. All right, Daytrail, what's up, bro? He says, can y'all feel that dumb Kamara did in Vegas going to hurt us? I don't trust those new guys yet. Kamara so much. Yeah, you know what, bro? And a lot of people out, like last year, people said Q trade that guy. I was like, bro, no, we're not going to trade out. Why? Well, you keep screwing up. You dumb. I'm like, no, bro. He just needed a team. He need goons. Serious. You need somebody. You should have had a force with you, like guys with you when you out like that. So you can't operate like that. And they be thinking, yeah, I'm just a regular. No, you're not. Not in the eyes of the public. You're not a regular dude. So you have to be able to have some goons with you to kind of get people up off you. Like that guy was talking all that smack. Them 2 goons would have kind of piecemealed that guy. And if something would have happened to the goons, you just bail out the goons. And you like, that's for instance, like, man, you don't see a lot of the Hollywood types like getting in brawls with some guy that's trying to, no, the goons is gonna keep them guys back. He gonna smash them up against the wall and hold on, man. You know what I'm saying? He gonna get them on out the way, and everybody gonna get where they going safely. See, you got to get that together. They got to get. See, they still not there. See, that's why I be saying a lot of people. It's about. And I've been mentioning this a lot, family. Get ready for the relationship shows, fam. Get ready to Q Uncut. Get ready for that, man. Because let me tell you something, fam. Let me tell you something. I'm just gonna keep it $1.15. It's a lot of stuff that you watch that a lot of people, like a lot of our younger people, just simply don't know, and that maybe that's just a disservice to the parents, or maybe the parents wasn't taught it, or maybe they taught it to them and they didn't use it, or whatever the case may be. It's not exhibited in a public perspective. Like, we talking about emotional maturity, like how to conduct yourself out in the public, emotional maturity. It's just a lot of that that's just, no, get up there. It's like, it's a way to conduct yourself, man. Because sometimes you'll have people out there, they'll play off of that to try to get you in the crossfire. And you got to see that, man. You got to be trained up and on code to understand how this stuff work out here. You know what I'm saying? The first show for Q Uncut going to be talking about Zion. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, man, let me bring Trey in here, man. Trey, shout out to you, fam. Appreciate you for being on the stream. Appreciate you for waiting, my brother. How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing pretty good, kid. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. You kind of muffled there, my friend. Could you adjust?
You can hear me?
Yeah, that's a little bit better, bro. How you doing, bro?
I'm doing good, Q. I just want to come on.
Okay. Okay, I lost you, Trey.
Best teams in the NFL roster-wise on paper. Like, our roster is almost flawless. We have a few holes at linebacker. I mean, Pete Warner's cool, but we're going to have to see how his health holds up. I don't really believe in his health. I believe he's a great player when he's on the field, but I just don't believe in his health because he's just a small man with a big heart. It's unfortunate. I respect his game, but his body may not hold up to the game he wants to play. I think DeMarco Jackson has a possibility to be a Demario Davis clone. We don't know yet because he tore his ACL, but from his scouting report, he looks like he could be that. Hopefully. I think Paulson and Debo's going to have a bounce back season. I believe 100% he was injured the entire season. Like, from the start of training camp to the last game he played, I believe he was injured the entire season. That's why he played so bad. Him at full health is going to be a refreshing sight to the Saints Nation. And what else? Oh, yeah, A.T. Perry. I really, really hope A.T. Perry comes through and just takes Traquan Smith off this roster. Get him out of there. I'm tired of seeing him. His name is synonymous with incomplete pass. Get him out of there, bro. I just want A.T. Perry to come and take his spot, and I'll be good. The only thing holding me back, Q, as you already know, is Dennis Allen. I do not believe in our head coach simply because I will never forget when Andy Dalton had thrown 4 interceptions and they went to halftime, and the reporter asked, "What did you tell Andy Dalton?" He said, "Just keep doing what he's doing." I will never forget.
Crazy. Trey, you might make me say, bro, I'm on my petty game tonight, bro. I might have to pull that up one, bro. I might have to play that one from Dennis Allen. Keep doing what you're doing.
To remember that moment. I want them, because if this season goes downhill, I want them to remember that, and I want them to hold on to that.
What was he thinking?
Just in the great same matrix, I want them to hold on to that.
Oh my goodness, that was crazy, man. You know, I'm gonna see if I can find that, man. I'm gonna look for that, man. It requires me to look around, but yeah, what was he thinking, man? When he did that, I was like, "What are you thinking?" Oh, he just Andy Dalton just threw 3 interceptions. Coach Allen, what do you? I just told him to keep doing what he doing. You know what? What?
Oh my God, bro, that hurt my soul so bad. Like, that's how I knew our season was over. It was over from that.
That's crazy, man. I'm gonna find it, man. I'm on my petty game tonight, man. So
yes, sir.
I'm gonna find. So let me ask you this, Trey, before I let you go, bro. So that's the negative side about it. The Dennis Allen debacle. You don't have trust in Dennis Allen. I don't have to play brother Glenn to kind of sing it for us and let us know what time it is.
Please do. I love that, Keith. It makes me so happy when you play that.
Oh man, yeah, that's crazy, man. But I don't know, bro. I think we're gonna be fine, bro. But Trey, you all right? All right, I think we lost Pro Trey, man. All right, we done lost Trey, man. All right, Trey, thank you, man. Shout out to you, man. All right, fam, if y'all want to pop in, man, the link's in the chat, man. Pop on in, talk to your boy, man. Hey, man, y'all is cool, man. Y'all like Glenn too, man. It's a bunch of stuff, man. I'm gonna tell you. At one of our mixers, man, I'm probably gonna bring out a DJ. We'll talk. I'm trying to mix it up like a meet and greet where we'll talk. We'll talk about Saints, we'll do like a live pod or something like that. We'll set it up and, have people to come there. You meet some of the guys. You'll meet me. You meet some of the other guys. You meet like Suede and DC and a couple of family members that might be there. We're going to do a mixer, man. We're going to put it together. Might be, throw a DJ in there where we have some music or something and we're going to make sure y'all know we're going to make sure we got some good eating going on. So, yeah, y'all hit that email list. That's what you need to do. Eat that email list and we're going to go from there. All right, OG Jerry Paul, sir. How you doing, OG? How you doing, sir?
What's good, Big Q? What's going on? Who that to you, bro? What's going on?
Chilling, brother. Good to hear from you, OG. How you been doing, brother?
I've been doing great, man. A couple of weeks ago, I celebrated my 39th birthday, and a couple of weeks later, here I am talking to you, talking Saints football to you.
Go ahead, OG. Yeah, I remember you, man, saying that you're 39, huh, OG? You made 39, huh, brother?
39, bro.
Go ahead, man. Congratulations to you on your belated birthday. I think you was on the stream. I think I got an opportunity to kind of wish you, bro.
You did.
Yeah,
you did.
man.
Appreciate the shout out, Big Q. Appreciate the shout out.
That's you the OG, man. I gotta give you love, bro. You the man, brother.
Well, you the godfather, so I gotta show you love.
All right, OG, talk to me, brother. How you feel about the Saints this year, man? Give me the real uncut OG feeling on the Saints this year. You think we're gonna take it, bro? A lot of people saying it's wide open, bro. What do you think, bro?
I think as you're looking at the screen on your right, with Chris Olave holding that ball, the predictions in the NFC South, you see who's on the top.
Yeah, Saints.
You see who's on the top.
Right.
I didn't say the Falcons. I didn't say the punk ass Panthers, and I did not say the Succaneers. The New Orleans Saints are on top of that list.
That's right.
And I got them, and Big Q, I got them winning more than 9 games. Vegas don't know what they're talking about.
All right. You're right. Well, you know, they are they kind of look at it like, you know, and I really don't know how they kind of put these things together. You know, a lot of times, man, it's kind of flimsy or what, you know, a lot of the stuff that they talk about doing. But right now, really, the Saints are, and we've said this before, the Saints are a team that if Dennis Allen wasn't on top of the team, you know, you had a coach here that people, because I don't think people respect Dennis Allen as a head coach. As a defensive coordinator, you damn right. I mean, he's a very good defensive coordinator. You can't take that away from the man. But in terms of him being a head coach, a lot of people don't have that respect for Dennis Allen, and the fact that a team we had last year that should have been a playoff team went 7-10, OG. That wasn't a good look at all. So that kind of even dropped even further, bro. But do you think this year be different, bro? What do you think?
Big Q, with these new guys we got, I believe the Saints going to take it. I believe in my heart they're going to take it. Because think about it. 3 months ago, everybody was talking about there's a possibility we might sign Derek Carr. I said, I don't know about that. But Monday, March the 6th, and I won't forget, and shout out to my guy, Dolph17, that's in the chat. Come on in.
What's up? What's up, my dog Randolph? What's happening, baby?
Yeah, I mean, my phone was blowing up that day, Big Q. I mean, everybody was coming out saying that the Saints and the Derek Carr signed a 3 or 4 year deal with New Orleans. I'm like, wait a minute, hold up. I mean, he went live. I mean, next thing you know, the Boot Tragedies went live, I think. Who that? WD in chat line, you, TJ, everybody. I'm like, what? Who did you? Dolph? Everybody went live. I'm like, what is going on here? And that's what the big news of the day was when Derek Carr signed with us. And that was 3 months ago. And then you got some other guys that we picked up, like Jamal Williams. Now that was a big jackpot pickup right there. You know, with the concern of Alvin Kamara, what's going on with him in this Vegas situation, you're gonna need somebody to carry that rock in case if he gets suspended, which I highly doubt. So on Jamal Williams, that was a big pickup.
You said you doubted OG?
Huh?
You say you doubted that he'll do any time, Kamara?
I don't know, depending on how this thing going, Big Q.
Mm-hmm.
That's another good reason why we signed Jamal Williams and drafted Kendre Miller from TCU out of the draft a couple of months ago. And hey, you're gonna need somebody to carry that load in case if it happens, which I doubt it might not. I think they're gonna probably let Kamara off the hook and let him play this year, like he did last year.
Yeah. Well,
That's what I think.
all right. Well, I definitely feel you on that, OG man. Hopefully that'll be the case, man, because like I said, it's a slim chance that Kamara does come through that thing, man. It's crazier things than happened before, man. So, you know, that's a real sentiment there. So, but hey, OG, thank you as always, bro, for chiming in. Much love to you, and appreciate you coming in and dropping some science with us, my brother. Appreciate it.
No problem, Big Q. And pick up where Trey Jones was saying about A.T. Perry making the squad. As y'all can see the writing on there. That's what I'm looking at. If Perry get that job. So, in other words, Big Q, you got to hit it one time before I leave. The Saints are going to have to do two things. They have to do two words. That's what they're going to have to do. They're going to have to show me and the Who That Nation what they made of this year.
That's right.
It's going to be a whole lot better than last year. That's for sure.
Hey, man, we got to. We the Who That Nation, OG. We got to represent to the highest degree, man, or all hell going to fall on top of them. Let me tell you something, bro. We got to make it happen, man. Bottom line.
Can't wait. I'm like Bob Scott. Can't wait.
I appreciate you, OG.
Also, shouts out to everybody in the chat. Thank you all for the birthday wishes this month. I appreciate y'all and got nothing but love for y'all. I love y'all and ain't nothing y'all can do about it. Let's get it.
Thank you, OG. Appreciate you. Right back at you, my brother. Much love, and we talk to you later, bro. Appreciate it.
All right, Big Q. You take care. You have a blessed night, my brother.
You too, bro. Peace. That's the OG, man. That's the OG, the one and only, man. OG Jerry, 39, man. I thought OG looked younger than that, man. I thought OG was a little younger than that. 39. Go ahead, OG. And family, like I said, the link is in the chat, man, if y'all won't pop in. I was trying to find the footage, man. Y'all see me peering over to the screen because I was trying to find the footage about what he said during halftime, man. I am trying my damnedest to find it. Right now, I just can't find it, man. I can't find the halftime because it was a halftime thing. If y'all know, put it in the chat for me, man. Put it in the chat for me. If y'all can see it, I was doing my damnedest to find it. You know, I was on my petty game, man. I was trying to find what he said at halftime because that was a laugh and a half. That would go down in Saints lore. I can't find it. If y'all know where it is, send it to me. I'll play it. I can't find it. All right, so big ups to the fam, man. Appreciate y'all being in there. Uncle Paulie, what's popping, Uncle Paulie, man? Good to see you there. My dog Randolph, shout out to you. Tuck Graph was popping. What's going on? Morgan, good to see y'all. Misdemeanor, shout out to you. How you doing, fam? Appreciate you being here as well. Y'all hit the like button for your boy, man. All right, Tuck Graph said, I'm not saying what happened, but don't be public drunk. You make bad decisions when you're drunk. Was he drunk? It was like 5 o'clock in the morning. I want to say it was like 5 in the morning, if you referencing Elvin Kamara. But that's what I'm saying. It's like, man, when you, I don't know, man. I've been just listening to people. I'm like, man, what's going on in the world, man? Yo, it's just like, it's too much of this stuff. Like, and listen, man, a lot of it, like, depending on your upbringing, and and what you learn home and how, I guess, everybody's home, it has a level of dysfunction, which is necessary because that's how we learn. We learn we learn either two ways. We learn from watching somebody else, or we learn doing it ourselves. That's the two ways that we learn how to do things. Now, there's a lot of extra game that goes along with that, man, but like deciphering and watching game and just breaking down stuff, a lot of this stuff is like going away, and whatever's coming there is, man, that's not even close to being right. So I'm like, man, this ain't empowering. None of this is empowering. Who told you this? That type of stuff, man. So it's crazy, man. It's crazy. But anyway, we got a couple of more family members chiming in. If y'all want to chime in, man, let's go, man. Let's talk black and gold. We in here tonight. It's a Wednesday. It's middle of the week. It's a hump day edition. It's going downtown, baby. It's all good. It's good in the hood, baby. It's going down. Randolph, shout out to you. How you doing, fam?
What's going on, Q?
What's happening, my
Nation? How you doing? What's happening, family?
What's up, my boy? How you been, bro? You been all right, brother?
Man, man. I'm doing good, man. Say, man, if I may, Q, man, I just want to thank all the family members, man, who supported Coach Rock's football camp this past week, man. Shout out to brother JT once again, brother Wallace, Pam and Wyman, everybody, you know who you is. Coach, once again, Coach wants to thank everybody for your love and support, man. It was beautiful, man.
Yeah, Randolph, that's positive, man. That was a beautiful thing you guys put together, man. Every time it was that they helped the children, man. I couldn't attend, man. I had a conflicting schedule.
Yes, sir. Yes,
that
sir.
time, I'd been down there too, yelling at and instructing the children. Hey, bro, I'm good at that. I got 2 boys already, man. So you know what time it is with me, man.
Sir.
I'm a guy. Sir. You if you're a father and you're involved with your children, man, and mother, period, or mother or father, if you're a parent and you're involved with your children and you're teaching them sports and you playing with them, man, you're gonna be instructing them in life and everything, man. So that some of our children, a lot of our children need that instruction, they need that care and that attention. So I commend you.
Yeah, man, that's all, Coach, man. That was his fifth year, man. It actually had like 100 kids, man, more than we expected, man.
Good,
so,
man.
Yeah, and we definitely will be back next year. Matter of fact, bro, I'm going live next year, so we're going live from there next year, man. So hopefully you can make it next year, man.
All right, y'all doing it at the same time next year, Randolph?
Yeah, I'm gonna talk to Coach. I think he tries to do it around the same time every year.
Okay, yeah.
Yes,
if you do it next year, brother, I'll be up in that thing, man. I'll come on down there, bro, and jump in the ride and come and holler at you, brother.
Man, do that, man. Hoodie was there, man. It was a good day.
Shout out to Hoodie, man.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Hoodie, man. Man, listen, man. Everybody, I know that this the dog period. We looking for content. We looking for any news, man. But you know what I'm on, Q. It's paper, baby. I'm through with the paper. Last year, it looks good on paper. Like the song you just played, they got to show me. They got to show us, man. They got to show us, man. Because last year we was all excited, man. Jarvis was coming back. Mike was coming back. We drafted Olave. We had Penning, man. Man, we was excited, man. And listen, week 1, for 3.5 quarters, it didn't look good. Then something snapped in them. And of course, they had the greatest comeback in Saints history. But after that, man, it was all downhill after that, man. So the thing that I think one of the major reasons for our problems has been the inability to stay healthy, man. I mean, every team has injuries. That's no excuse, but it is what it is, man. When you keep losing your starting quarterbacks and Alvin was out, 5 games? We lost Laddie Daddy was, I think Lattimore only played a total of 7 games last year. So the injury bug, man, is one thing that hopefully this year we can avoid, that we can stay relatively healthy, especially to the key players, man, under center, man. Can we finally get a consistent week in, week out starting quarterback from week 1 all the way to the end of the season, man? We haven't had that since number 9 called it a career, man. So that's what I'm looking at. And shout out to JT, because I'm telling Q, Peyton Turner, who that family? Peyton Turner will ball out this year. I'm going on record, and y'all know what I'm about to say too. Jerry ain't gonna like this, but Traquan Smith, 5 touchdown catches this year. Traquan Smith making this team. That's right. Y'all can put it all in the chat. I don't care. I told 98% of y'all last year that he was gonna make the team. Y'all huff, y'all puff, y'all came up with every kind of excuse. My nephew on the team again. Damn it, the coach just told y'all a couple weeks ago he gonna be on the team. So there you go.
So
I'm about to start a fire in here.
Hey man, hey Randall, let me tell you something, man. A lot of people they like, man, it's time for this guy to go. Listen, so sprinkle me with some game on the wide receiver room. If Traquan Smith makes the team, what the wide receivers? Who's on the outside looking in? I know you got Mike. I know you got Olave and Rashid Shaheed. Who else is there outside of Traquan? Who does he beat?
Traquan is in. Washington is in.
Okay.
And
by A.T. Perry.
A.T. Perry practice squad.
You gonna practice squad him?
Yeah. I know who I'm going with? The young man we just got from the Dolphins. Played.
Lynn Bowden. Lynn Bowden Jr.
Yeah. That's my 6 wide receivers right there.
Yeah, that's actually I like that pick there, Randolph, because I think Lynn Bowden Jr. and a lot of people like Kiki Cote as well, but Lynn Bowden Jr. is a dude that has a lot of application to him. You know, I had an opportunity to scout him. The dude played. I mean, you look at his tape, man. They just, I don't know how they wasn't using him right, man. Like, he does it all, man. The dude was playing quarterback in college. He was doing running back. He was wide. He had a good set of hands. He got speed in the kick and return, punt return game. So the Saints
another Taysom,
bro. The dude, and you can see the Saints looked at him. They tried him out, and they signed both of them. Cote and Lynn Bowden Jr. and they put Malik Flowers in the street.
Yeah. Quickly.
So, that's interesting, man. But, Randolph, a lot of people don't like the Traquan pick there, brother. They want him out of here.
I know they do. They want him out. They've been wanting him out, the last 4-5 years? The man is here, man. The man was a free agent last year. Went to Atlanta. The Falcons, he really didn't want. His heart wasn't there in Atlanta. That's why he came back home. He ain't going nowhere. He like that child in the basement. You've been trying to get rid of him, but they're still in your basement, man. On the back room, man. He ain't going nowhere, baby.
Well, this the thing is like Traquan Smith is man, every year, like, there's a lot of wide receivers there, man, that's pressing. A lot of wide receivers. So, man, and I remember looking at training camp at minicamp. He was dropping passes in minicamp. You know that, Randolph? You know that, right?
He was what?
He was dropping passes in minicamp.
That's minicamp. Minicamp, baby. Hey, don't matter, baby. Listen, when the lights are bright, he gonna shine, baby. When the lights
I think Randolph I think Traquan Smith is Randolph's cousin. That's what I think. It's a blood thing, man.
There you go, bro. That's my nephew, baby. Let's go, nephew. I got you back, nephew. Damn, leave my nephew alone. I knew Randolph. You keep pressing him, man. Randolph was gonna tell you it was his cousin, man. Y'all gonna lay off Traquan. He coming back. Traquan, I'm tired of this shit. Excuse me for cuss. I'm sorry, bro. I'm tired of this stuff, man.
Yeah, that's all good, Randolph, bro. But and let me ask you this one, bro. Best part of the team to you, bro. What's the best part of the team? And I know you're a paper guy. I'm a paper guy too.
Right.
But it's sure fun, brother. Imagine. It's sure fun to analyze and take a look, isn't it? So you're peering to that crystal ball, bro. Tell me, what's the best part of the Saints team you see that could possibly be in 2023? What you think, bro? Secondary? Break it down for me, my brother.
First of all, if we can get a full season, a healthy season from our 2 safeties, I think if they're able to stay healthy, the chemistry that those two will develop as the season goes on, and I think they complement each other very well with their different styles. And as far as the cornerback position, listen, everybody's waiting for the battle between Adebo and Alante Taylor, but a lot of people are forgetting about Roby. Y'all can say what y'all want. Roby is not a terrible corner. He's not the worst cornerback the Saints ever had. You got Roby, then you got the youngster that when we drafted him, I think a lot of people just thought, well, automatic practice squad. But Jordan Howden, I'm excited to see what Jordan Howden brings.
I agree with you on him, Randolph. Jordan Howden is definitely a player.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And they like him. They like him.
Mm-hmm.
Then everybody's favorite Monday is coming back.
Yep.
We finally get to see what Smoke Monday brings. Hopefully he's fully recovered, and this young man can come out there and show what he has. Listen, we know what we got with Lattimore. We good there. And, then look at the veterans we brought in. Another guy, I know Ugo
Yeah.
Agati.
Yamadi. Yeah, you go Amadi.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
Special
my
team.
thing with him is everybody just saying special team, but he has a lot of experience starting in the secondary safety. So he's played a lot. To me, he's a better version, a much better version of JT Gray. He's not as big of a liability playing the safety position as JT Gray would be. And that's no slight to JT Gray. He's a excellent special teams player, but as just a pure every down safety, he has his
problems.
his moments. Yeah, he has his moments.
Yeah.
Then we brought Johnson in, for the guys from the Raiders we brought in. Those two I mean, the secondary is so deep that how many do you keep? Do you keep 8? Do you keep 9? I mean, the Saints are going to have to let some very good players walk out that secondary. And as far as the battle between Taylor and Adebo, to me, it's like deja vu. Alante Taylor had a great first season. Could have been better. He had a lot of drop passes. He should have had a lot of picks. Should have had at least 3 picks for sure. He can work on that area. But the kid, his demeanor, his swagger, his attitude, and I think that's why a lot of us are hovering to him or being drawn into him, because he has that personality that draws you in. Adebo is just laid back, smooth with it. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't talk much, but goes out there and does his job. So a lot of Adebo had a sophomore slump. He was playing with an injury. He was playing with an injury all last year.
Yep.
He wasn't all the way back healthy, that kid. But it wasn't like he was getting torched. How some people make it seem like he just had a terrible season. No.
Right.
Adebo is a starting cornerback in this league. Alante Taylor's a starter. And I love the fact that they are working Alante Taylor in that slot, because the thing is, you want your best 11 on defense on the field.
That's right.
I don't care who it is. So me personally, I don't care if it's Alante inside or Adebo. I really don't care. I just want the best 11 on the field. Now, so the secondary is my strength. I think our running back room right now on paper looks very good. And shout out to Eno Benjamin, man, because we talk about it, me included. We talk about the running back room. We talking about Miller. We talking about Coach Elvin. We talking about we even talking about undrafted free agents that then came and gone, and we keep overlooking Eno Benjamin.
This is true.
Benjamin has starting snaps in this league and played damn good when he had the opportunity.
This is true. Absolutely.
So when I think about that, I'm like, hell, that running back room is strong. Now, even if Alvin has to go out for a while, we got Williams, you got Miller, you got Eno Benjamin. Now, my thing is, what do you do with Dwayne Washington? Does Dwayne Washington?
He don't make it.
Does he stay on the team for special teams, or do they try to move him to fullback, or just so they can keep him? Because he's a key cog on the special teams unit. So how would that work? But you don't think he's gonna make it, Q?
I don't think so, bro. I think you got to, and this is the thing. Like, we seen a trend like with the Saints, they kind of moving away from the guy. They want guys in the special team to contribute for whatever position they come from. We had some really good aces. We had Chris Banjo. We had Justin Hardy. These guys were really good, but they could not contribute from the room in which they came from. Like, if you like, it's a similar thing with JT Gray. JT Gray showed some potential. Yeah, JT Gray showed some potential at being a good safety for whatever reason. If JT Gray's out there for you, you got problems. He just I don't know what it is, but you need to work at it a little bit more, and that's a part of it. You gotta be multi-purpose to be in that position. So Washington, bro, I think Washington's time is done with the Saints. I think he about to get up out of here. Maybe they keep your cousin Traquan Smith, but to ask them to keep Dwayne Washington too, bro. Ain't gonna happen. Ain't gonna happen, Randolph. And listen, Washington. But bro, the thing with Washington is too, man. He's a north-south runner. He ain't got much wiggle to him, but he would, you give him an opportunity, he runs hard. You can't ask him to do more than that. But they just don't believe in the man. I remember there were times when they had a healthy Dwayne Washington sitting there, and they had a issue with the running room, and they just decided to just go with Taysom Hill, right? They just like, well, Dwayne Washington, you got north-south running Dwayne Washington. Now, let's just go with Taysom Hill. Let's just keep Taysom and do that. And I'm like, damn,
Right.
bro, this guy's get you. All they have to do is run, hit the hole and fall forward. So I mean, it's I don't know, but you're right about the Benjamin thing. That's a lot of people are overlooking him. I guess a lot of people don't see him as a person that can contribute to the Saints, but you never know, bro. If injuries happen, God forbid, he could be stepping in there helping out.
Right. And if you think he can't play, go back and look at the Cardinals game last year against us.
Yes. Yeah, he can play.
Yeah, he can play.
He's a compact dude, Randolph, with speed, and he showed a little power too. He can catch the ball out the backfield. Yes. They made a good call by picking him up.
Yeah. And also, now, let me ask you, how do you feel about the Saints? I'm not comfortable with the defense interior. I think they need at least 2 more bodies in there, just for competition. I'm not sold on what we got right now.
I agree. I know you're saying you don't like him. You want some more depth. I feel like Randolph that based on the film that I was watching from the 3 guys that they added there, we know what Malcolm Roach brings. But you watch Breesy, the first round pick, and then you watch guys like Saunders and Shepard. The tape and footage I was watching on them, man, them dudes, they're one word pops in my mind: relentless. I mean, they as soon as the whistle blow, they're fighting, and they fight to the ball. And Big Saunders is a dude. He's 6 feet tall, 300 pounds, but he don't move like a 300 pound person. That dude like 330, I won't say. But he don't move like that. He's extremely agile for a big guy like that. He got light feet. He moves. He sees something. He gets there. I seen several. We was breaking it down on Patreon. We seen several times where he beat his faster edge rushers to the quarterback. I'm like, damn, how you did that? But it's just amazing. But I like what the Saints are attempting to do because they're looking for a high motor, big physical interior defensive lineman that is hard as hell to block. They want some activity in the interior. And in terms of you looking at the guys behind the Malcolm Roach, I've been saying this for a while, Randolph. I think Passanio might have something to do with the interior situation. The Saints might shift him inside a little bit more than outside because he's getting a little up there. Right. And I don't know if it'd be a best use of his ability to keep him outside. He's 6'7", 300 plus pounds. You can't put him in there in the interior, the defensive line, and he'll be batting down balls from quarterback. He'll probably bat down at least 2 or 3 of Bryce's passes when he try to throw out of that thing. He's 6'7", trying to throw over that. So I mean, he might be a part of it, but I agree, bro. I think an experienced defensive tackle, interior guy, another nose tackle, wouldn't hurt the team to bring him in there for an experience. So I agree with that.
And my other thing is with Shepard and Saunders is, let's say you guys that they're started. Let's say Saunders starts. Now you go from taking backup snaps, you're from maybe let's say 18 to 20 snaps a game, maybe. Mm-hmm. Now that doubles. You know what I'm saying? Now as a starter, you're getting double the snaps.
Right.
How will you feel now? Being that you're the man, Right. But I know there's going to be rotation and everything, mm-hmm. but at the same time, you're the starter. So mm-hmm. you're going to get the majority of the snaps unless you're just hurt. And of course, we don't wish that on any of them. Right. Last year, Nathan Shepard was one of the top defensive linemen as far as getting pressures on the quarterback, penetrating. So I mean, when we signed him, a lot of Jet fans were saying good things about him, just like the Chief fans were saying good things about Saunders. I mean, like sometimes it's just about needing that opportunity. Mm-hmm. These guys have showed the ability, you know what I'm saying, to be high caliber players in this league. A lot of people think they have that starting quality, and the Saints definitely did. And hell, the Saints didn't. They let David walk in. What the next day they was in here, like So the Saints had a plan, man, and I'm definitely can't wait till the pass come on, and I can't wait till those practices against the Texans and with the Chargers, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it's the Chargers, yeah.
Right, because that I love those joint practices because going against your teammates day in, day out, you start knowing their tendencies and what plays they go run and everything. But when you go against another team, now
you can cut loose.
Yeah. Now everything's the level is up, everything's higher now. The intensity rises because it's almost like you're in the game now. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to beat you. There are guys on that other side who are hungry just like you. Right. And you don't know what they're running. You don't know, this guy's tendencies or anything because you haven't had time to study film. If he's a rookie or maybe you've never played against him or played against him once or twice, so you're really not too familiar with him. Now you got to go out there, man. You just got to, you got to let it all hang out. You got the ball. And like I said, when those pads come on, man, we separate the men for the boys. And as for Breesy, man, I'm interested to see how often they kick Breesy outside on the edge, because watching film with him at Clemson, a lot of times Dabo, they'll put him on that edge and
split him wide.
He caused a lot of problems.
Yeah, he can do it.
He caused a lot of problems, and I'm just saying, family, like, if y'all haven't really looked at Breesy, man, listen, when the kid's right, listen, if he wouldn't have had the issue with getting hurt, injured, and then of course the tragic loss of his sister, every life things that the kid's gone through, this kid was one of the top. I think he was the top player coming in from high school when he came in the country, a freshman All-American. The kid is the real deal, family. Just be patient with him. Oh, look, we got a good one in that kid, I feel. And of course, man, look, I was on Foskey from the beginning of the draft process. I love Isaiah Foskey. I think the kid has a chance to be special. I haven't seen him in the NFL practice yet. I haven't seen him in the preseason game yet. But I just got a feeling about this kid. I think that kid might just have that it factor. Whatever that it factor is that certain guys have, I think that kid may have it. And who knows, maybe he becomes our Michael Parsons. I'm just saying.
Man, he got the sack gene, Randolph. You calling it, man. He definitely got the ability to get there, man. He gets there, man. He got the athleticism. He can be able to – he's going to help us out with that Achilles heel of the mobile quarterback threats the Saints have had over the last several years. So, absolutely, bro. Agree with you. Good points, as always. Randolph.
I got one more thing, and I'm going to get out here and let other family members get on. Thank you again, my brother, for having me on. Man.
You appreciate you.
The offensive line, Q. We already got injuries, man. We got Penny coming off an injury. We got Ruiz coming off an injury. We got Pam and Wham in here. She gonna get on because if I say it wrong, God damn it. Hold on. God damn it, she gonna get me. Nick
Saldiveri.
Saldiveri. There you go, Q. Q, there you go. Pam about to get my ass. She always gotta break it down for a boy. She always got my back, man. But yeah, man. So I would like to see them go out and add another veteran offensive lineman. Listen, I like Billy Price. I like that pickup with Billy Price. He can play that, and he can play center. So now you can just leave Ruiz at right guard.
That's
you ain't got to put him at center.
Nope.
If something happens to Eric McCoy, which I hope it don't because we need him. So listen, I just think it's gonna be a good battle on that offensive line. Y'all keep hearing me say this. Landon Young is on the bubble.
Yeah, Landon Young, Kelvin Throckmorton,
and they're on the bubble.
Yeah,
my kid that made it last year, he growing. He gonna be all right. He may be the last old lineman to make the squad, or they might try to sneak him on the practice squad. But Lewis Kidd, I think Lewis Kidd gonna be part of this team too. I just think he has a big upside, man. But again, Q, my brother, thank you, bro. I'm gonna let another family member get on, man. Thank you as always, my brother. Appreciate you. Much
Thank
love,
you,
bro.
Appreciate
and who that nation? How you doing? Come on in. Love y'all. See y'all later. I'm out.
That's my dog. Thank you, Randolph. Shout out to you, my brother. Feel free, and also Randolph's stream is come on in. He's what's my boy Randolph? The Who That Nation. What's the name of the pod again, Randolph, bro?
Keeping It Real. Who That Sports podcast.
Keeping It Real. Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Yeah.
Tell the people.
Yeah, it's the Keeping It Real Who That Sports podcast every Wednesday and Friday. Sometimes Mondays. We're part of the Come On In Sports Network, which is our very own sports network, which we have just launched, and we're proud of that. We also have a new family member, and yes, they cover the Dallas Cowboys, but they're family. You're welcome there too. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Jay Hiss and C. Rob in the Hit Zone, man. They're part of the Come On In Sports Network family. But yeah, Q, we got a lot of stuff going, man. We got the new podcast called As the NFL Turns. Well, it's myself, it's Coach Rock, it's Jay Hiss, C. Rob, and Mr. D. Kane. And D. Kane will also be having a college podcast, man. We're working on that for the season. So yeah, we got some stuff working over here, Q. But again, thank you, my brother, for everything you do for me, bro. Always being there for me. I appreciate you. Much love, brother.
Thank you, brother, and congratulations on that, man. Keep powering through, man, and it's gonna be fine, bro. Congratulations, great moving for that, Randolph. Shout out to you, my brother.
Thank you, my brother. Have a good night.
You too, bro. All right, that's my brother Randolph, man. Shout out to Randolph, man. We got 3 more people we're gonna chime in, then we're gonna get on up out of here. We're gonna kind of speedball through this thing. Guess who, ladies and gentlemen? We got Pammy Whammy chiming in here. Pammy Whammy, how you doing, Queen?
Hey, can you hear me?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I just wanted to stop in. Hey, everybody. Just wanted to stop in and say I'm cautiously optimistic about everything that's going to happen this season. Really do hope that we get off to a fast start. That's been one of our Achilles heels, that we start slow. And just want us to start off fast on a good foot, especially building confidence, definitely for Derek Carr and for Michael Thomas. Also, I think we definitely need to step it up on special teams.
Oh, yeah.
Special teams, I haven't been excited about a punt returner or a kickoff specialist to run the ball back since the beer man. And so and that's been, I don't know how long ago. And don't get me wrong, Deontay Harris Hardy was great, but we just need somebody explosive back there that can really get the ball and get us in great field position. Football is all about field position. And if you get a good punt returner, kickoff specialist, I mean, I think we can do some special things. And so since Randolph took up 55 minutes of everybody else's time, I'm not gonna be on here long.
Well, Pammy, hey, listen, I appreciate you. I know you got this. I know you got the clock. I dropped the clock. I know you got it.
Absolutely, Q. I thank you for taking my call. And again, I just want us to start off fast. We got to start off fast, and I want our special teams also to step it up. Punters, I want Gilligan to have a great season. Definitely, Big Nuts Lutz. We need him to kick some clutch field goals, and so I'm ready for the season to start. But I'm very cautiously optimistic as well.
Oh yeah, well you know my thing. You know how I feel about it. You know how I feel.
Hit it, open up and let me in. That's what Dennis needs to say. Open up and let me in.
Oh, Pam, you about to finish the song, man. You about to finish the song right there. Come on now. That's one of my favorite ones right there, man. You know, that's
I
one of the
know.
top
I
ones right
love
there.
Glenn Jones. He's one of the best singers in R&B ever.
That's
So
right.
I'm down with some Glenn.
That's right. We love that. Yeah, that's my saying for the year going into that thing. They got to show me something. So that's what it is.
Absolutely.
But Pammy, thank you, baby. Appreciate you.
Absolutely.
And chime in more, man. We'd love to hear from you. Much love. Thank you for all the great support that you bring and keeping me in line with my time and letting me know that I'll be running over and just thank you for everything.
No problem, Q. You know I love you and who that? Let's hold it down. I know DA is not our choice, but it's bigger than DA. So we have to keep our eyes on the prize. And so hey, let's do this.
All right, thank you, Pammy. I like that. It's bigger than DA. There you go. I
Yeah.
love that. I like that. Well, I'm gonna have to use that during the season.
Okay.
It's bigger than DA. We got to do that. I appreciate
you. Can do that.
We gonna do it. We got no choice. But I ain't gonna be sitting up here mad and cutting up. You know, I can't be doing
That's
all
right.
That. That's right. All right. Thank you, Pam. Appreciate you, Queen. Much love to you. Thank you.
All right. Have a good night, Q. Thank you.
All right. Same to you. Bye-bye. That's Pam. And shout out to the Queens, man, chiming in this thing, man. Appreciate the Queens. Pam jumping in, dropping some science, baby. How about that? All right, so we got a couple of more people. We got Uncle Paulie, the great Saint Think Tank historian, then Darius, and then we're gonna get on out here. Uncle Paulie, what's going on, fam?
What's going on, Q?
How you doing, sir?
I'm going to say the best for last.
There you go.
And while you at it, go look up that old song with Dennis Allen. If you don't know me by now, you'll never know me.
Is that
Dennis Allen don't need to be? I said this before, Q. Listen, if they would do this, this would help Derek Carr and the offense out a whole lot. Let Pete Carmichael take it, demote him from being the offensive coordinator. I know it might hurt his feelings. He might shed a few tears. Let Coach Curry be the offensive coordinator, call the plays, and let Carmichael just be the quarterback coach. Carmichael, because if they don't, Q, it's gonna be that same. Listen, you go think we got Andy Dalton back out there. I'm telling you, with that play calling on offense, I'm telling you, Q, that conservative stuff, it's not gonna work no more. Dennis Allen gonna have to get off of it, man. He got to stop trying to call the plays on defense too. You know, he got to let the guys coach. If he go have on their staff, let them do their job. But I think Coach Curry would be more innovative, and he'd be a better play caller, game in and game out. What you think?
Yeah, he definitely got to step it up a bit, man. Last year, you seen Elvin Kamara in games he wasn't totally being utilized correctly, and I think Pete Carmichael has to be able to. He said as much, he got to call better games. He said it numerous times this past offseason. It's a bit of a difference you can see with Pete Carmichael going into it. Even Jamal Williams, we were doing an interview here. Covering it with Jamal Williams, and he said people were talking about how laid back Pete Carmichael was. Jamal Williams said, "Not to me," and I said, "What?" He said, "Pete Carmichael." Yeah, he said Pete Carmichael be yelling, and I was like, "What?" Pete Carmichael? But Jamal Williams says, "No, he ain't that laid back about Pete." So, hey, what's going on? Pete Carmichael getting a little bit more aggressive in his personality, perhaps because this is a part of the game. We we're dealing with Pete, so. Man, if Jamal Williams sprinkled some game on, I was like, what? What are you talking about?
Because all that 3 and outs and 3rd and 15, and you going to run Taysom Hill out there and trying to do a wishbone formation and all this old crazy stuff, man. That's not going to work, dude.
Just a second, Uncle Paul. Let me give a shout out to Mark 504. Thank you for the super chat, fam.
Yeah, boy.
Thank you for that. What's up, Q? He said, I'm from New Orleans. We like our band music. New Orleans All-Star Band, 180 full of high schoolers, mostly took down a Georgia mass band of 320 members. Next battle Friday at Berman State. Okay, congrats. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Congratulations to the band. You know how we do it down here in New Orleans, man. You got to be ready. We come with all that, man. You know what I'm saying? I was driving through New Orleans today, man. I was going down, where was I? underneath the interstate right there, where they got the chicken joint and all that. Going toward this what is it? Man, damn, what's it called, man? I was over there by what you call it, the famous black restaurant over there, near the bridge, Ziggy's. No, is it still called Ziggy's? Y'all know what I'm talking about. It's over there. Y'all know what I'm talking about. It's this the restaurant over there off of, I think it's on Bienville. That's what I was driving down there. And I was looking, man, they had a bunch of people up under the bridge. The band was there. They was practicing. I was like, damn. It looked like one of the brass bands where they were under there practicing, doing their thing. I seen homeless people under there. I was like, damn, it's tough out here nowadays. Everybody.
If they're that good, Q, to say need to give it the dome for a couple whole games. Let them show that stuff out like that.
Hey, man, but congratulations. But congratulations to you, Mark, and the band, man. Big ups to you, man. You know we got that in us down here, man. That's we do that. That's what we do here. So shout out to you and congratulations on that, fam. But Uncle Paulie, man, my perspective is like with P. Carmichael. He's aware that he has to do a better job. I think Carmichael and Carr are getting off on the right foot. I think Coach Curry is more involved in the process. He's the passing game coordinator, so he's working with him. So that trio of guys, they got to get it together. And one of the biggest things that he impressed upon me was the fact that he was talking about implementing Carr, his favorite plays into his offense. And I thought that was a tremendous idea. I think you do that makes the offense like a tailored suit that he can wear to his liking. And if he can do that and you picking the right plays that he knows, that helps his maturation process, that helps him get more familiar with the Saints offense, that helps him move the offense a lot more. But also, like Pammy was talking about, she made a great point about starting slow, about how we started the game slow. And remember, and see, all this comes back to me when we talk about this, because under Coach Payton, it was times when we started the season off, we started really slow because Coach Payton was trying to force the ball. He's trying to throw the ball. And I'm like, dude, just run the damn ball. What's wrong with you? And then weeks will go by, we'll barely win. We'll get a 3-point win. Or
by week 89 for the offense, and Steve started leveling out. Come on now.
Run the damn ball. And then I made shirts. Y'all put one in the chat. Y'all remember that I had made shirts that would say, hey, coach, run the damn ball. Y'all remember
run
that?
The ball, 2 rushes, first down, 2 rushes.
Right. I sold a ton of shirts. Hey, coach, run the damn ball. You know, and it was like, dude.
Like, he couldn't hear.
Didn't want to do it. Then when people start cooking him, he begrudgingly started running the football, having success. And the moment he started getting the running game, he jumped right back to the throwing the ball. So I was like, dude, if you start running the ball, you'll be able to throw the ball.
I think that was Peyton last year. Or to say, remember that game where Alvin Kamara and Latavius Murray both had 100 yards rushing? That was crazy.
Yeah, you don't see. And remember, we had the big games. And that's a great point, Uncle Paul. You talk about the Saints running back room. You know, Randolph was talking about that as well. So we look at the running back room. We talk about Dennis Allen's philosophy originally when he took over the team was the fact that he wanted to have a power running attack. He has that now. Well, the issue is, do we use those guys? And how much of and this stuff won't get answered until they start putting the pads on. We go into the real live action. We won't start seeing how things look until then. But it kind of brings up the thought process is how involved will the running game be in the implementation of the Saints offense like we get going through the first 4 weeks of the season when you know most of them not going to play in the preseason. Those preseason games, they're not going to play there. So they're going to be very rusty coming out. So you would tend to want to run the ball and get that going. So we'll be instrumental to see how well that would be. What would that be looking like? You know what I'm saying? What kind of percentage would that be? Would that be, I'm thinking more of a 60-40 percentage more toward passing than running. But when you have a vicious running room like the Saints have and a new quarterback, you will want to try to flip and get that play action going as soon as you can. And remember, you can take defense and the running game on the road, and that can get you a lot of success. Running game on the road and defense, that brings a ton of success. So that'll be questions and things that I'll be looking at as the season moves forward of how the Saints get things going. That's what I'm looking at.
I can't wait to see. You was talking cute. I was just thinking about I can't wait to see Carr and Foster Monroe and Taysom Hill and Juwan Johnson. He gonna have 3 tight ends that he can just lick his chops on any given play that he can throw the ball out there. Because they're gonna have to get the ball downfield. Q all this little 20 yards and 15 yard in and out. This you're gonna have to try to, Derek Carr, he can throw it 40, 50 yards, get some big yardage in one play instead of trying, nickel and dime,
Right. Absolutely. You listen, and this is the thing too. Man, I watched a ton of film on Derek Carr, man, a ton of film on him. And as I keep watching the film, and I'm like, as I see what he's doing and what I'm seeing what he was doing in his time with the Raiders, leading up to the last several years before he left. And then what I'm noticed, like, you're not going to see a totally that much different guy. You're going to be doing a lot of the similar things that he was doing that gave him success with the Raiders, with the Saints. So a lot of the plays that brought him success there that are familiar, here he's going to use those as well. So a lot of the things that I see from him that I really like, and I keep saying it, is he gives an exciting brand of offense. Like the Saints could be trailing by 14 points and they're not out of it. Last year, if you got up on the Saints by 10 to 14 points, we were looking at, oh man, we're going to lose the game. And I'm like, that's ridiculous. But when you're looking at a guy like Carr, who has the ability to whip that ball out there 40-plus yards downfield and blow the game open at a moment's notice, the Saints are always going to be in these games. They're going to always be dangerous, especially with the kind of talent they have. So I'm looking at what he did with the Raiders, and I'm saying to myself and looking at that film and then using my imagination and putting it in the Saints offense, and I'm saying to myself, the explosives that we lost, that we didn't have last year, we most certainly going to have that this year because that's the best part of his game. His favorite portion of his game is throwing the deep ball, and you have guys that can go and get it.
That was the problem last year with Andy Dalton. Every team we faced, whether they had a good defense, middle of the road, or even a bad defense, they knew if they could put 6, 7 guys in the box, that we couldn't throw the ball deep on them for nothing in the world, not on no consistent basis.
Right.
They knew that.
That changes.
And then that's why the running game started slagging. And then, like you said, you had the injuries on the offensive line, and it just kept snowballing week after week,
Yeah, you got to have a guy to scare the defense. Uncle Paulie, you got to have a quarterback that scares the defense. And I'm saying scare the defense as a guy that's
just block it up in there and say, okay, we dare you to run the ball. And then the referees try to run the ball, you get behind it, they start throwing all them holding peelings and false starts, and your offense start going in reverse.
Yeah, you can, and that's the thing too. The game's close, the referees play. Saints, and like I said, starting out the year, Saints got to use the running attack. That's what they got to do. The offensive line is got to handle his business. The Saints got a lot of depth. So for guys we know that are banged up, if they're good to go and they're healthy, we got fallback options that will come in and keep it going. So we got to utilize our running attack. You mentioned the tight end room. We have probably the most unique blend of tight ends in the NFL. You have Juwan Johnson, who you can kind of slot him out in certain packages. You got more of a traditional looking tight end in Foster Monroe. And then, of course, you got Taysom Hill, who's not really a tight end. He's a utility weapon that you can use as a fullback. I've seen him use that as a fullback, the block for Elvin Kamara last year. Y'all remember that? He used as a tight end. He's used as a quarterback. He's used as a running back. Used as a wide receiver. You use Taysom Hill wherever you're at. And I think with the Saints, all this extra talent the Saints have had, that makes Taysom Hill a lot more dangerous because the Saints were kind of using Taysom in previous years more.
Just think about all three of them, Hill, and you have Foster Monroe and Johnson near the goal line, trying to stop one of them three guys.
Jamal Williams.
Three different
you got three of them, Uncle Paulie, on the goal line with Jamal Williams as the running back.
You got to get a touchdown, Q.
You don't get a touchdown.
Wrong.
Man, bro, I was watching footage on Jamal Williams. We covered it on Patreon. Jamal Williams had 17 rushing touchdowns last year for Detroit, and a lot of those came on when he was in the red zone. It's like I seen they had goal line packages set up, and they would overload one side, like they would overload the right side, thinking he was going there. Jamal Williams would see that and then and shift to the left and find a hole and get in there standing up. So it was just
You know what I like about him? Q. He not gonna go down on their first hit or their first arm tackle. They're gonna have to get 2 or 3 people at the same time point of contact. He not gonna go down with the first lick. That's what I like about it.
No, right. He's the dude is a guy. Now listen, just to compliment to Alvin Kamara, the Saints are looking to use Jamal Williams in these plays. Like if you got to know how to, and that's the thing about areas of the field and perhaps being organized and efficient enough to know how to use the gifts like a Jamal Williams will give you and put you in a certain position like in the red zone where Jamal Williams could be able to step in there and handle the business for you as opposed to putting Alvin Kamara. Not saying that Alvin can't do it, but you can be more imaginative on how you use this. Like the Saints last year did not decoy Kamara.
Situation. Run a Kamara on a 3rd and 5 or 3rd and 4. Williams gonna fit that mold. That particular play a whole lot better.
Exactly, and if you can still put Kamara out there, like if you can have a situation where you can have Kamara split out, and they have him as a decoy. That's the thing. Right. That takes imagination to do. Where you have a guy like the Saints didn't do that a lot last year, like utilizing Kamara as a decoy. Perhaps they felt like they just couldn't do it.
Frustrated a lot of times do a game. He just be frustrated. Thought they would let him play his game. He wasn't getting no flow. 1 or 2 plays, then you pull him out. How you expect, a running back to get in the lather going, and you keep pulling him out every play?
That's right. So I don't know, Uncle Paulie, what they do. I just think that the Saints, from an offensive standpoint, they're gonna have to break out that imagination this year because when the 53-man roster comes down to it, the offense will have a severe amount of talent. And they have talent all over. Every skill position is thoroughly, loaded. So if you are, if you and Carmichael's there, you can decoy Kamara and use him to help other guys get open. You got Michael Thomas that'll be out there. You have Chris Olave, and like we talk about guys and explosives, the biggest benefactor of some of those explosives will be Chris Olave. He is the deep threat opposite of Michael Thomas. Now you got Rashid Shaheed there. That's also a guy that gets downfield quick. So you got 2 very fast wide receivers of the 3 guys that can get downfield real fast, and Carr can throw each one of those guys open. So like I said, it'll force the opposing defenses to adjust to that. They're gonna have to play high. They got to keep them safeties back, and they do that. That's
Kamara and Hill and
have a field day.
All 3 of them back there at the same time. You ain't gonna be able to pick on just one guy. Doing them little flop plays like Kansas City like do with a running back or the tight end run behind the line and they snap the ball right quick. Right. It's gonna be hard to stop them kind of plays, Q.
That's the excitement that I get from watching the film, just seeing what Carr brings, like the explosive side of it. Like it'll be in a very exciting brand of offensive football for the Saints this upcoming season. Now with defense, they have to tune it up. The special teams is like Pammy mentioned. That's something that we damn sure got to get together. The special teams is the weakest unit.
You brought that up. The linebackers. That's what I'm looking at. I don't have the roster for the linebackers in front of me, but like you say, if Demario Davis goes down for any little time, your linebackers gonna be in a lot of trouble because you're not gonna be able to depend on Zach Bourne. He just ain't cutting it. Q, what you think?
From so far, yeah, it's easy to look at him and say, man, Zach Bourne is not, what we anticipating. But, I look at the Saints and they didn't bring in like you look at, they had every reason to bring in a sturdy veteran. Like there's still time where the Saints could drop somebody and bring somebody and they can bring in a linebacker like a Quan Alexander to play behind a Pete Werner, right?
That's gonna be his best bet, Q, because Quan not gonna command a big, big contract.
About a mil or so. But this is the thing with the Saints that they're behaving like this. They got but they have a lot of faith in Zach Bourne. That's what it appeared to me. Because remember, the Saints could have got rid of Zach Bourne last year. They could have put him in the street last year. The Saints are holding on to Zach Bourne. They feel like Zach Bourne's ready to have a breakout season. And a lot of it's like, okay, we did it with Caden Ellis. Well, Caden Ellis broke out and he was a 7th-round draft pick who he was showing out on the special teams before he had this explosion and just took off last year and got a payday from Atlanta. They're expecting that to happen with Zach Bowen. That's why you didn't see the Saints bringing in any veteran linebacker to challenge Zach Bowen for that linebacker spot. They're just bringing in undrafted guys.
You should have tried to keep Ellis, Q. I think that was a big loss for us a linebacker. Because him and DeMario Davis were working great together.
Couldn't afford him. That's the thing. The Saints didn't want us. The Atlanta overpaid. Well, I ain't gonna say they overpaid, but the price that Atlanta was offering him to go over there was more than what the Saints were willing to do. And like I was saying, I'm thinking the sense I get from it is the Saints are expecting a similar transition with I keep saying Quine, but Zach Bowen as they seen with Caden Ellis. Like Zach Bowen is, and truthfully, if you think about it, they're two different styles of players. We know that Bowen was a 34 type player coming out of there, and he got those, I think, 11 sacks that year, doing mostly as a end coming off the side for Wisconsin that year. Saints seen the potential in him, and they wanted to do the same thing until they brung him here and realized they couldn't do that because, number one, if we try to line him up like a defensive end, they would just switch out of it and just run to his side.
Right.
Or because he couldn't set the edge. He's too small there. So you didn't see them start. You didn't see them blitzing him a lot. Or like, what happened to that mentality? But I don't and just to be fair to Zach Bowen, I don't. Listen, he's been here for 4 years. He's been here for 4 years. He trained with the Watts, JJ and TJ Watt a couple of years ago. I think it was last year he did it, or maybe last year. He trained with them. And he was actually looking pretty decent. So at some point, you're looking at Bowen and saying, is he ready now? It took all this time to get here. Could he possibly have a similar transition just like Caden Ellis had, who's a 7th-round draft pick? We moved up to get this guy. So can he really step up and do that?
Right, because we can't say it's injuries, Q. Zach Ball ain't been on the field enough. It's not like Alex Anzalone situation and that, where injuries kind of took it, stole. And Peyton Turner, too. Yeah. I mean, he's going to have to step up, Q. I think this is his year. If he don't do it, he's going to be Marcus Davenport right on up out of here. Because they ain't going to keep doing that, man. You can't keep being hurt. And the guys, the team looking for you, the defense looking for you to be one of the starters and to make an impact in your position, unless you got somebody behind him that's going to be able to take your place. But he's going to have to do it, man. He ain't going to get too many more opportunities. You know how it is. The old saying, NFL, not for long. If you don't produce, you're not going to be around too long.
Yeah, this is last year. So, this is last year on his contract. So, yeah, it's almost like we talk about the Traquan Smith thing with Traquan Smith. The Saints just keep holding on. They keep saying the reason we keep Traquan Smith here because of his blocking. And I'm seeing Traquan Smith drop passes in practice all the time, and he gets into the game. It's weird because we seen wide receivers outplay Traquan Smith, and Traquan Smith still makes the team. So a lot, Randolph might have.
Kevin White, kept cutting in, or they'll tell you, look around, they bring him back this week.
That was that's the thing I'm talking about. Listen, remember, family, how it was in preseason last year. There were players that was making the Saints team that shouldn't have made the team. For real. If it was about you performing and stepping up and showing out during preseason and the training sessions and all that kind of stuff, that's how you earn your way on the team. Well, what happened with Kirk Merritt? Kirk Merritt was showing up, and playing way better than Traquan Smith was. Traquan Smith was dropping touchdown passes in preseason games. Y'all remember that? All of that to get the X. To get the X.
Get the reps. What happened?
Traquan Smith ended up making a team, and Kirk Merritt was placed on the practice squad. When a lot of the questionable moves, and it's the same thing that happened last year with Zach Bowen. This was under Dennis Allen now. Zach Bowen was not playing well. He wasn't playing. He was banged up. And then when he finally made it back, he wasn't looking all that good. And at the time, your boy, Eric Davis, Eric Wilson, I'm sorry. Eric Wilson, who we picked up from Green Bay, was showing out. He looked like DeMario. He was out there playing off of DeMario. They looked great out there. And then next thing you know, Eric Wilson on the practice squad and Zach Bowen in the active roster. Dennis Allen, personnel decision. So
Dowell was playing good too. They put him on the practice squad.
So that's the whole point. It's like you look at guys and you see them. It's like, okay, Kirk Merritt catching passes. He acting as a running back. Okay, we see you as a wide receiver. Can you be a running back? He went out there, showed him that. Then he still practice squatted the guy. So like I said, it comes down to the personnel decisions that's made by the head coach. You got to put the right guys in there to see what happens. So Uncle Paul, hold on. I got one more call that you stay where you at. We're going to bring in Mookie is the last caller. Mookie, shout out to you, brother. How you doing?
Salute, man. Salute. Die hard Saints fan. Bleed that back in gold. You heard me?
What's up, boo?
What's up, man? I'm excited for the New Orleans Saints, man, onto this season, man. The just mainly because we got Derek Carr, and especially just the what we can get back, especially on the offense. And I feel like last year the injuries that we dealt with, especially on the defensive side of the ball, and the fact that we go look at where the Saints ranked defensively that year, we were still a top 10 defense in the NFL despite of all the injuries, despite Lattimore being out, despite Demario Davis missing a game or two, I believe, as well. Despite other players on the defensive side of the ball was missing games. Gavin Port and everybody else was missing games as well. So the fact that this team was still a top 10 defense, this speaks to the potential that we already have a defense where I believe that is good enough, which we can compete as well, right? And when we look at the offensive side of the ball, like, yes, I don't know what's going to happen with Alvin Kamara. He might get suspended or what. But the fact we went out and go get a Jamal Williams, you hear me? And then we go draft a running back as well. And the fact that, we have Chris Olave, then, you still – I don't know what's going to go on with Michael Thomas. I think he might play. I don't know what's the update on him. But I think he might go back into the training camp healthy as well. So, and then we get in Derek Carr, right? It's a better than what we had at the quarterback under center. Then we had quarterbacks like Jameis Winston and Andy Dalton and Ed Buck and Travis Sidney, and now we get a Derek Carr, which I believe at his best, he is a top 10 quarterback in the NFL. Man, listen, I'm very excited. The coaching is the one concern about my Saints, because Dennis Allen, to me, I just don't trust this guy, man, to me as well. But other than that, man, listen, I'm excited for this season. I think the Saints, to me, can be a 12 win team. I think our division is weak as well, but I believe that we will easily win our division. And I believe that going into the postseason, man, I feel like this team is good enough to actually compete and actually get to a Super Bowl, man. We just got to see, you know what I'm saying? Because we seen, last year and stuff where we was good on paper, but everything just didn't click, you know what I'm saying? So hopefully we can get that and go into this season as well, man.
Hey, bro, that's good sentiment there, man. And I'm with you on that, bro. And like a lot of questions have to be answered. And it starts late July, man, when they start putting all the equipment on and we go to war, man, and start this whole process. So I'm very excited to see what happens. The team is littered and loaded with talent all over the place. How you
think about Dennis? How you think about the coaching, man? What you thought about Dennis out there? You believe in Dennis out there? You got some trust in Dennis out there? How you think about the coaching aspect of the Saints, Steve?
I think they got some really good, really solid coaching pickups this year. Clancy Barone, the new tight end coach, is going to help out big time. Love that move. That was a solid move. Getting a guy like Joe Woods here to be the defensive coordinator. Marcus Robinson is a former player who played the position there, so he'll be there kind of doing his thing. We'll see what goes on with our new defensive line coach. He seems like a passionate and very smart man. So these are, and Dennis Allen, credit to him, is his strength is his defense. He knows how to put together a good defense from an offensive standpoint. I mean, head coach standpoint. He has to show not only us but himself that he can do it. Joe Woods is supposed to take a lot of responsibility off of his shoulders, which should be able to focus more on making the team complete. So whether he does that or not, I don't know. But he seems a lot more comfortable. But being comfortable, that's one thing. Versus, you got a firing squad pointed at you this year, and of course the Saints are going to wrap him in Teflon blankets and say, "Oh, I know we lost this year. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but if the case don't fold right, they're going to protect him and say, give him some more time. You got Carr here. So, I mean,
Yeah.
it's just another excuse they're just going to spin out. But Dennis Allen has to improve as a head coach. There's no way around that. We got all this talent here, and people told me it's like, Q, we got to win despite the coach. I'm like, how do you win despite the coach? And I get what you're saying, but how do you win despite the coach when the team takes on the mindset and the personage of the head coach? He's the key identifier. So if he's not exhibiting championship qualities or championship decision making, you don't have to be perfect. But you're going to have to still, even if you have the most talented team than the other team and the other guy can coach better than you, you might lose that game. How do you react?
That's a good point. I ain't gonna lie. That is a great point because I've seen time and time again where teams have great talent, right? And we look at their personnel, be like, wow, this team and that personnel, like they're healthy, they're good enough to win a Super Bowl. But we just see the big coaching gap, right? Or the play calling, the coordinators, right? The training staff is just, it goes on to each other, and that's a great point. That's the major concern I have for the New Orleans Saints, because I know our defense is contending caliber, especially when it's healthy, because our schemes as well as the personnel as well, right? And I think from the offensive standpoint, just adding another quarterback, which I added another leader, which Derek Carr brings there, gunslinger, pocket awareness, his ability to stretch the football downfield. That's something that we just didn't have. You know what I'm saying? Jameis Winston was supposed to be that guy, but his decision making and him being turnover prone as well, and his inconsistency offensively just didn't maximize that, right? And now we got a guy, Derek Carr, who can stretch out the defense and also unlock Chris Olave's abilities downfield for being a speedster playmaker downfield as well. So I like that, man. But like you said, bro, all of that's being thrown out the window if the coaching is not on the part. And Dennis Allen's going to have to take some responsibilities and take some accountability of his actions. That's what he's going to have to start doing.
Hey, Mookie and Q, y'all can attest to this too. Dennis Allen is not a good halftime adjustment coach. He showed it every game last year. What y'all think?
Need work.
Yeah.
It need work. But that's a part of the game. That's what I was like when I asked the question, people talk about the talent of the team. We had a talented team last year. There was no reason the Saints should have been a 7-10 team. You improved upon the 9 playoff team. The 9 playoff team that won 9 games and finished 9-7. You improved upon that team, even though Peyton left. You improved. You gave them. You had all these players you added, and we didn't. We had a successful offseason. We had a pretty decent draft as well, signing period like we did this year. And then we couldn't translate the energy from last year into the season where it ended up going through the season and being successful. That you've seen all kind of misspeaking and the team wasn't buying in. You're seeing this milquetoast mentality. And I'm not going to front. I was totally disappointed in Demario Davis and Cam Jordan, how they, and the excuses that I felt like a lot of them was making. Like a lot of them was like, y'all just had, and Jawan Johnson on social media said, y'all just hang with us and we're going to get it together. What happened? You ain't get it together. I thought you was going to get it together, because you got to understand when people peering at you, when they peering at you and they saying, hey, man, you need to fix this. Oh, well, nah, they just, we got this over here. We're going to take care of it. What happened, brother? I thought you said you had it. Why y'all finished 7-10? Well, the injuries, Q. No, it ain't the injuries. That's the fall safe thing where everybody deal with injuries. That's why you're supposed to pair up depth charts and practice squads. That's how you're supposed to work this thing.
To be fair, Q, like I ain't gonna lie, like injuries is part of
it's a part of the game, bro. But that don't give me more of an advantage to you. I know it's
part of the game, but like
you got to prepare yourself and team.
It is context to be thrown, but it's still no excuses. You still have to come out there and show out and get ready and compete, because you already know what the roster is dealt before y'all start the game on Sunday. That's fair, but I do think that injuries did play a part, but I just felt like we just wasn't, as a team, wasn't motivated, bro. Breaking in another coach, right? Another coach, and I understand Dennis Allen is similar with the culture and the organization with the New Orleans Saints. But it's something that I think it takes more than just 13. It takes a year to build and for players to get used to that type of style of coaching for a Dennis Allen. You know what I'm saying? And I would say this, man. I think that the more and more we get for our players to be there consistently, then that's when we know we know what we're working with. You know what I'm saying? So it's I agree with you, Q. I do believe that the talent that we had last year, we should have been better than 7-10, bro. But when you talk about how injured riddle our offensive line was, you talk about how Kamara missed games as well. Michael Thomas missed games. You got Chris Olave missing games. You got Marshawn Lattimore missing games as well. You got all these different injuries in the game. It's just like
Andy Dalton played really
to be
killed.
fair, some of the games that we
really
lost,
killed.
like the Minnesota game, like some of the games that we lost, it was
The Carolina game. The Q had to call the team gutless. The gutless. When Q said gutless, I said Q about through with this team right there.
Yeah, bro, and like you said, and listen, I understand the aspect of injuries. They don't, when they start the season off, they don't make excuses. They tell you that. But by the end of the season, when the season over with, they full of excuses. I'm quick to pinpoint that because that's hypocrisy. You can't choose to implement it what you want. You can't start the season off and tell me that it's no excuse, we're going to do this, that, and the third. And then when you fail and you don't live out what you're supposed to do, then you bring in the excuses in there about injuries. Everybody deal with injuries. Some more than others, depending on how good your staff is. So I'm not oblivious to what they're saying about the injuries, but I'm saying it was more than the injuries. See, they don't say the injuries and anything else. They just said injuries. They don't talk about the personnel decisions. They don't talk about it. When you talk about Dennis Allen, could have won more games than he did had he put a better quarterback in there and the guy was healthy. He didn't do that.
Who he should have put in there?
He should have put Jameis in there.
Oh my God!
He could have had better games with him. You can't tell me that most of them games listen. San Francisco 49ers game.
No, there was a lot of games. James was staying on the sideline like, man, if I get up in here, man, I do something.
Jameis might not be a Jameis.
Jameis did not play well when he played with the Saints, bro. We talking about the start of this year, the plays that he was just missing, the simple check downs, the simple plays, the overthrowing of Chris Olave that was running a deep crossing route downfield as well.
You talking about the start of last year? Is this last year?
Yeah, I'm talking about strictly last year. He did not play well for me. He had that good game in the fourth against the Falcons.
Talking about when they had to take him in the tent and shoot his back up with painkiller so he can go out there and play that game.
Yeah. But you say you don't talk about the injuries.
No. That's what I'm saying. The thing is, your quarterback was dealing with injuries. Then he picked up more injuries. And listen, this is not like a situation where you can remove that from the equation. Your starting quarterback, who you gave the money to, was the best quarterback on the team. He came through some injuries because he was rehabbing the entire offseason into the end season. He started. He played. He picked up more injuries along the way. And we know what type of that we have to go over it. But they shot him up with painkiller. In the Atlanta game, he came out the tent and tore him up. He tore him up to Atlanta.
What happened against the Panthers?
That's a part of the game when we recognized that injuries was a part. He couldn't do it. Dennis Allen left him in there. He was not good enough to play. He was too hurt to play. That's when you know you got to pull him. But I'm not making reference to the start of the season when he was rehabbing or dealing with injuries at the early part of the season. I'm directing the conversation to more toward the back end of the season when he was cleared and he was off of the injury list and he was listed as a third-string quarterback. He's still the best quarterback that you have on your team. And when your offense was stuck in the mud like the Saints were stuck in the mud, you pull the trigger and you make a change. He didn't do that.
Yeah, but I don't think it's sustainable enough for us to change our season around and get to the playoffs because the Jameis Winston decision making and his ability to overthrow receivers at times and not take the simple play which at times I was like, even against the games against the Panthers or when we played the Buccaneers as well, I'm like, bro, the check down is right there with Alvin Kamara. What you trying to look deep over top? They playing simple zone covers, or what I'm saying, they playing coverages that you got to recognize and see when you're adjusting and making a hold of the quarterback. And I felt like for what we need for that offense, I feel like Dalton was playing better, but I still think that both quarterbacks were mid. But yet the way that Jameis played, I mean, he did not play well. But I see what you're saying, Q. Like it should be a different change because I think both quarterbacks that we had on the center was just not good. Bro.
I mean,
Andy Dalton would hold the ball too long, go out there and throw 4 interceptions, and then
and Jameis wasn't doing the same.
I told him to keep doing what he was doing.
Jameis wasn't doing the same.
Throwing 3 interceptions at halftime. The coach come out and tell him, "Hey, what you gonna do? We're gonna keep doing the same thing." It's just like it's like games when you're supposed to pull that guy out of there.
Yeah, we just doing the mid off right now between Andy Dalton and Jameis. But
but I'm saying, listen, when when the quarterback is not performing right, your offense is stuck in the mud.
Yeah,
it's stuck in the mud. You got to pull the trigger and make a change there. That helps, especially what you had, what was going on. You still competing, but you shouldn't have lost games to Carolina. You had both those games. And who loses the Matt Rule? Nobody loses the Matt Rule. The Saints lost to him.
We should have lost that Buccaneers game.
You shouldn't have lost. You shouldn't have lost none of the Buccaneers games. You had both those games. You had both the Carolina games.
So that second game.
You had both the Carolina.
Tom Brady beat and let him come back.
That's what I'm saying. That's what. And what was the worst game? Like one of the worst games where people was just tearing them up. I think it was. I forgot which. It was so many of them. But
was it a Seattle game?
And we beat Seattle. Huh? We beat Seattle. But
we beat Seattle.
I want to say we beat Seattle, unless I'm. Hold on here.
I don't think we beat Seattle. I don't think we did.
Then we beat Seattle. Y'all correct me in the chat because I probably done pushed all that out of my head, man, by now. But the point is, bro. The point is like. Hold on here. I can look it up right quick. That's no issue.
Minnesota was a winnable game, but.
Yeah, the Minnesota game, you had we beat Seattle 39 to 32.
Oh, we beat Seattle. Okay,
you beat them 39 to 32. But those are contests that the Saints could have won. I mean, you could have beat the Steelers game. The Steelers game was really tough.
Oh, that one, yeah.
The Steelers game was awful. The 49ers game when the Saints got blanked 13-0. That was pitiful and awful.
Offense was terrible.
You see? So when do you say, okay, and Andy Dalton, and they basically, Dennis Allen went on a press conference and basically told what was Andy Dalton's issue. And he felt like he wanted to be the guy. Like he was in there and they were switching between him and Taysom Hill. They would put him in there and run him off and put Taysom Hill in there. He didn't like that. Dennis Allen said that then it just so happens that the next guy was after the game. Then the next guy that stepped up to the totem was Andy Dalton. And they asked him, hey, Dennis Allen just said that, you had an issue with, switching back and forth. No, I don't have no issue switching back and forth. I'm a team guy, Oh, you didn't, okay, you don't want to confront that right now. Because whatever happened, he probably told him that in private, and he just kind of, I don't want nobody to know that I didn't like that to happen. But Dennis Allen just outed you. He just said that you didn't like to do that. And I was like, oh, and you changed your mind that quick? No, so the reality is, as a head coach,
they sure said in Q, but they kept going 3 and out and putting the defense back out there, getting tired, and you keep sticking your defense out there, getting for the whole game.
But see, that's the point. That's the point. Like right now, it's really you can learn from it. That's all we can do right now. Is learn from it. And the questions that a lot of people have is, how is he dealing with these personnel issues moving forward? Now we know Carr is his guy. That's his handpicked guy. He drafted him. He brought him down here. He made him super rich. $150 million over 4 years. So this is the guy. So Carmichael gets the guy. You would expect the Saints offense. I really do. And I've said I did a show on it. I think the Saints will have a top 10 offense this year. It's just me peering into the future based on everything we have in the philosophy. The guy takes the offense and wear it like a tailored suit. I think we'll have a lot of success. I think the defense will represent. Special teams to me needs to improve. Will Lutz needs to kick a lot better. He's been looking pretty decent.
That's a great point. The special teams got to improve, bro.
They got to improve. So
it was terrible last year.
So then, but the question is, like, we talk about the head coach, and I think one of the family members had a great point. They said that when the family base don't believe in the head coach but love the talent of the team, it's going to be a split down the middle of how people feeling about the team, because a lot of the people outside don't have, I ain't going to say respect for Dennis Allen, but they love him as a defensive coordinator, but as a head coach, he hadn't really given them anything to cheer about. So a lot of the family members are showing love for the team out of habit.
Do you think it's leadership issues with Dennis Allen?
I definitely think it's leadership issues with Dennis. I thought that was one of the things. I said it last year. I said Dennis Allen should go to leadership school, man. You should learn how to talk. You should learn how to talk to people. I mean, for real, I'm not saying he's a bad guy at communicating with people, but it wouldn't hurt him to learn how to motivate people. Because last year we could use a lot of really good motivation. You got to know what to say to people to get them when they getting their asses kicked out there and what's going on, not working. You can't walk by them, clap your hands, say, "Come on, guys, let's get it together." Man, get your ass out of here, man. Talk about get it together, and you over here calling. You see what I'm saying? So winning is the cure for all of that. Winning is the cure for all of that. So when you got a talented team, your team way more talented than the New England Patriots. Can you out coach them? That's when it comes down to the nitty gritty. Well, I'm gonna let you handle this, you handle that, and then I handle this, and let's see how that all works. We'll see how that method works. It didn't look too good last year, but as the head coach, you are over the head of the team. You represent the team. You have to make the right decisions. You got to make the adjustments live time. You got to make the adjustments right on there. You can't sit up there and be staring at the game like we looking at it from on TV or from the stands. You got to be on it. You got to be making the adjustments. You got to be making sure the game plan is on point. Is he a really good game manager? Is he on top of it like that? That's what I was saying. Like, it would be a good idea for you to kind of get them plays, let the defensive coordinator call the defensive plays, and you act more as a head coach, oversee the team. Your special teams over there stinking it up. I was advocating for Darren Rizzi to be fired. I don't care what he did for Miami. He ain't doing shit for us here. He can't teach them guys how to block, man. You can't teach them how to block so our kick returners can flip the field. Tackles. They letting guys, it's like a sieve. It's like we won't hold, we're going to get you, hey, Q, give me that bowl right there. I'm going to put some water in the bowl, and you hand me a sieve. And I pull the water and the sieve go right through. That's how they are. How a kick returner getting tackled by 3 guys, 2, 3, and sometimes 4 guys. No, them guys are not blocking, man. You got to teach them guys how to block. If you do that, we can flip the field and have short yardage. We might even be lucky enough to get a kick return or a punt return for touchdown. I'm like advocating, listen, what he's doing is not working. And you got to be on that as a head coach. You can't sit up here and make excuses for these guys. You got to get behind that and you got to make things happen. Even if you got
to ask you, my bad for cutting you off. I was going to ask you, what are your expectations for the New Orleans Saints?
In terms of wins and losses?
I'm talking about wins and losses, where you got them going. Like, what's the expectation that you set for Dennis Allen? So you have to meet this, or the organization would look to get rid of him, man.
You got to get to the playoffs, bro. And even if even if the Saints, and I'm gonna say this, and I said it before, even if the Saints, God forbid, don't make the playoffs this year, they're not gonna fire Dennis Allen. They're not gonna fire him. They're gonna use the excuse, because I know these people, man. I've been covering these people for years, man. I know their tendencies. I know how they think. It's almost like I'm a fly on the wall. Like, man, how the hell Q know this, that, and the third? I even emulate them. I've been listening to them. Like, I got them figured out, man. That's just how I am. I'm a guy. I look at how things are, the organization, how things are set up, and I know exactly how it goes. I don't have to be in there answering, questions about such. That's how I know which questions to ask, because I already know all this other stuff, because you volunteer that information. But the stuff I really want to know, they're not going to ask you that, and that's strange that information that I want to know is not coming out. Like that, Ty, that's a strange element of it. Like, okay, your accountability. When you talk about accountability, don't say we. Say me. Yep. Say me first. If I'm the head coach, you take responsibility. Because if I'm holding myself accountable here on this show, I'm not going to say, hey, Mookie, man, we got to do better. No. I'm talking about from me. Uncle Paulie, we got to do better. No. Q, you got to do better. You got to do this and do that. And that's what I'm saying. That's a part of the accountability dynamic. And when he takes personal accountability, that flows throughout the team, because that lets people know that the coach knows that he has a certain set of errors or character flaws in his game or in his personal as a person that he has to rectify for him to get to the next level of being successful. That's what this is. There are head coaches in this game that are, it's just what it is, man. I'm not going to get into a long spiel about it, but the type of stuff that I was looking for, he volunteers that stuff. A lot of that stuff but the stuff that I was questions of the personal accountability, he's always say we. Like, no. You was the problem. You made the personnel decisions that were questionable. You didn't make the adjustments on time. You chose these people when you should have chose that guy. You should have. It's that. And when you are not taking accountability, then you're prone to make the same thing. See, it's spotlighting it. See, they thinking it's a bad thing when I spotlight it. No, if I spotlight it, you'll do something about it. If I call it into question and put it up under the light and say this, that, and the third, chances are you'll change it. You'll change it. But if I don't question it, then it'll go on and then history repeats itself. So that's a part of the dynamic. The dynamic is the man's a head coach. He never done anything. He never was successful as a head coach. What changes? The fact that he has a talented team. He had a talented team last year and finished 7-10. Well, injuries, Q. Okay, whatever. So when this year rolls around, what happens this year? See, that's the point. That's the big break.
Hey, Q, I'm with you, bro. If he does not get this team,
it's all on.
There's no quarterback excuse. We got a quarterback. We got the weapons that we got. We bring back Michael Thomas. Hopefully he gets healthy with Olave and the defense come back as well. If you don't get this talented of a team to at least the playoffs, and like I said, my expectation for the Saints that we win 12 games. Because if you look at our schedule, bro, our schedule is not hard at all, bro, compared to previous seasons as well.
I know.
So what I'm saying, if we don't win at least 12 games or win our division, because our division is the weakest division, being fair, we overwhelming the favorites of winning our division. If we don't do that, oh man, Q, I just don't know what to do, man. Bro, I just don't know what to do, bro.
Bro, we was in this situation last year. I mean, you had Tampa Bay had Tom Brady there, but he was a vulnerable Tom Brady. That was the weakest Tampa Bay team they had since Tom Brady was there.
That's true.
Was last year's team. Saints had Tampa Bay on the ropes both those games and let them win the game. Bad coaching. It's not like you came in the game and got blown out. So in the microcosm in the NFC South, the Saints had both Carolina games and allowed Carolina to win the game. They had those games.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm saying. It's like, okay, if he was a head coach for the first time, then you will allow him some room to grow into the position. He was a head coach prior with the Raiders. He did. If you watch a lot of the stuff that he happened, what did he change? The lady came on here, one of the representatives. She had commented in an article that I hope he comes, he stays late and does what he ever do. 10 years after he got fired from there, he spent 10 years, ran up under Peyton's coattail, been with Peyton for 10 years. The reason why you have him as a coach is because Sean Payton pointed at him and said, y'all make him the coach. And Mickey said, let me tell you, you got it, Sean. I'll tell you, he's the coach. He's the coach. You say so. I love you. And you say he's the coach. He's the coach then. And that's what happened. Because you can't tell me Dennis Allen was more qualified than these other candidates they looked at.
No.
They went and interviewed the guy, Dougie P. from Jacksonville. That was the first guy they interviewed. And Dougie P. got picked up.
They interviewed that what's that guy from the Chiefs?
Eric Bieniemy.
Yeah, Eric Bieniemy. Yeah.
Brian Flores. They interviewed him. They interviewed several other people. So it's like Dennis Allen, they didn't want a culture change. They wanted to keep everything the same. But it's a difference, but obviously, between Sean Payton and Dennis Allen. Dennis Allen's a hell of a defensive coach. But that's defensive. When you're the head coach, you got to account for 3 areas of your team: offense, defense, and special teams. You got to account. Head coach means overseer. I must oversee everything to make sure it is in order. Are you in order? What's your game plan? And oversee each game plan. That's why I was advocating for him to not call plays, let somebody else call plays, and you oversee. That's what you need to be doing. Because you
hold on. So you telling me last year Dennis Allen was calling the defensive plays, and he was involved with the offense.
He was calling the play. He was the head coach. He was calling the plays on defense. Even he had 2 people lined up as coordinators. He had 2 guys, a 2-man coordinator team.
Okay.
And he was still calling the plays. And I was like, I don't think you need to focus on overseeing the team. If you got capable men there to do that know what they're doing, allow them to do that.
Okay.
So he wants to call the defensive plays, which is fine if you're winning. But if you're not, but calling those plays and doing that stuff is taking your attention away from being a head coach. And is he a guy that has the ability to delegate between? These are all characteristics which make a coach great. How do we know? Because these are characteristics that some of the greatest coaches that we watch in the NFL currently have. They have the ability to delegate roles to guys and stand out of their way and trust them to let them do their jobs. To let them do their jobs and have success. Dennis Allen wants to call the plays. Fine. He got a new defensive coordinator. One guy here, Joe Woods, who is his guy, will watch the defense. Fine. But as far as a head coach is concerned, how does that help Dennis Allen? How has he improved as a head coach? What will he do differently that he did last year? Do you recognize what you did wrong as a head coach last year? You see, these are questions that I directly aim at him as the head coach because he is the ultimate obstacle in the Saints being successful for the year. Because everybody coming here, they're going to be talented. You might have talent. Your team is more talented than half of the NFL. We know that. The Saints their team at the very least is more talented than half of the NFL. But that does not mean when you line up across the field from that team, that your talent-filled team that's more talented than that team over there that's being ran by Bill Belichick or Andy Reid or any of these other guys, or what's the guy from the Rams, was McVay, or any of these other guys, you beat these guys. And before people say, well, Q, he beat the Rams last year, before you say that, remember what happened in the game when Stafford went down and got hurt. They couldn't stop Stafford. Stafford was tearing them up. And when Stafford got hurt, that's when the Saints pressed ahead and they would obtain that victory. But if Stafford remained healthy, the Rams would have won that game. And I was saying that the Saints don't have a game plan. They don't have it to stop Stafford. Stafford was making the plays. Go back and watch the game. The Saints rolled him up. He got hurt. They took him out. They put that other guy in there, and that was a wrap. So what I'm saying is, I think the Saints are going to have success. If you look at the talent of the team, this team is a 12-plus win team to me. As a team perspective, from the offensive, I think they're a top 10 offense. I think the defense, it could be a top 10 unit eventually. I think they're top 15 currently right now. In my price, I think special teams is the weakest area of the team. We need to improve in that aspect. But in terms of them getting wins, you're looking at a team that should have at least 11 to 12 wins this upcoming season. They do have a lot of young teams that they're playing, lining up. But once again, like I said, it all comes down to the head coach. And that's where you have the break. Is when, okay, I love the team. That's why the team is nobody talk about the Saints winning Super Bowl except for Cam Jordan and a few other family members in the Great Saint Think Tank. They're reluctant to even say the Saints going to the Super Bowl this year. Why? Because they don't believe in Dennis Allen. And they're not wrong for that because Dennis Allen hadn't showed us anything to believe in yet.
That's true. That's the one thing that's holding me back for the Saints even doing anything is this guy, Dennis Allen.
Right. I mean, you know what, Mookie? Let me ask the Great Saint Think Tank. It's 100 plus of us in the building. Hey, Great Saint Think Tank, educate your boy over here. Tell me what you think. Are the Saints going to the Super Bowl? Tell me. A lot of people are reluctant to say the Saints are going to march through the NFL and go to the Super Bowl. And that is very unique because we don't do that often. We don't do. We felt, man, we got this. We going to the bowl this year. We going to the bowl, Q. A lot of people here, they reluctant to say, like, Q, I ain't gonna lie, I like Michael Thomas. He deadlifting 573 pounds. Elvin Kamara, bro, he might do a little time. But hey, we got your boy from TCU. Jamal Williams is here. Man, we got this. We got Chris Olave, Rashid Shaheed. Defense, man, we got Cam back, man. Granderson gonna step it up. Man, we got Brees and Foskey. We doing good. DeMario double D back. Tyron Matthew gonna step it up. Laddie Daddy healthy. You know, they go down the whole list, and then when they get to Dennis Allen, they be like,
Yeah, I'll be
all
like
that. It's weird. It's weird, but that's where we are. He had, and you're not wrong to feel like that because a lot of people have faith in their squads. They do. But, and I said this, you got to temper your expectations because I'm saying and I wish I can give you more. I love this team, how they put it together. But we've been here before where they put a good team together last year off of 9-playoff team. They improved the team, and then the team was worse than what it was. You can say injuries, but at some point, everybody deal with those injuries. You got to know how to deal. It's a part of making adjustments in the business that won't save your job is to keep saying injuries. You got to make adjustments when things are injured. You got to put that depth chart together. You got to work that practice squad. You got to start using it correctly. Well, just like, and I kept saying for several years, Philly uses the practice squad like it's supposed to be used. Saints don't go to the street and pull some guy off the street and stick him in a lineup. You got guys on the practice squad, you use it as an extended roster, as an extension of your roster. You stash players there that are familiar with your system. A guy gets hurt on your team, you pull that guy from the practice squad and put him on your team. That's how it's supposed to be done, and you keep this thing going. Now, you lose stars, and we win as a team. It's supposed to be team. We win as a team. We win as a team. And so we going to see, bro. But this, talent-wise, the Saints are more talented than half of the NFL. But when it come down to, can the man get them to win? I can't tell in good faith. And being honest with the who that's, I keeps it real. I can't tell you in good faith that Dennis Allen will take what we have that's really popping in the offseason and bring it into the end season and have us popping like such and such. I can't tell you that. I really can't because I have to see it. And my saying, bro, going into the season until I start see us, we handling the business. That's how it is. But Mookie, give you last thought on it before we move on out of here, bro. Last thought on it before we bounce.
Yeah. I'm gonna say this. Very, very excited to see for the season. I'm just very, very hopeful that we get a healthy O-line this season. I know we riddled injuries and stuff like that. I know we drafted somebody, but I hope we get better health-wise with our offensive line. I know we're gonna get Trevor Penny, and I know that we're gonna basically see him throughout the whole totality of the season. Like I said, man, Dennis Allen is a major concern for me, but like I said, and we just got to go ahead and see. He knows that it's pressure to win this season. He knows there's expectations, especially going to get a franchise quarterback in Derek Carr as well. So it's pressure for this organization to win, not only for him to win, for Derek Carr to play well as well, and also for Michael Thomas as well. So it's a lot of motivation for this team and this organization to compete for Super Bowl, because I feel like over the last 3 years, even when Drew Brees was, washed up and banged up as well, and the after year of Drew Brees with the year with Sean Payton and how the defense played as well, I feel like we always had the defense to compete for, Super Bowls and stuff like that. But I felt like we were just missing something, and that something has to be shown throughout the whole totality of this season as well, and I believe he will show it. But I'll holler at you, Q, man. Salute for bringing me up, man. Real talk, man.
Thank you, Mookie. Appreciate you, brother, and who that to you, brother. Thank you for a good conversation tonight, fam. I hope y'all enjoyed it, man. I did hold y'all long, and I thank Pammy for not getting on me. Supposed to be an hour and a half. It's 2.5, almost 3 hours. But listen, man, I had a great and that's the thing, man. I love talking to the Who Dat Nation, man, and I get that talking Holy Ghost. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I get to talking Holy Ghost because I'm talking to the family members. I'm engaged and I'm listening to the family members. It's been a while since I did a live stream when I was able to just have a discussion with the family members about the team. And I said, you know what, let me pop up here on this hump day and have a good old-fashioned conversation with the family members about this team coming up. And, of course, we don't know what the future going to look like. A lot of times, history is not a best indicator of what things can happen. But I'm telling you, man, when people start telling you to forget history, it always loops around. Everything happens in cycles. And the best way to prevent bad history from happening again is to always remember it. That's why we got statues and sigils and all this other kind of stuff going on, is that is a constant reminder to remind us about stuff that we don't want to, go through again. So, I'm a history guy. I remember a lot of stuff. That's one of my things. And I just look at it and I'm commonsensically, I just think about, what would it take, for us to get to the level. And it always goes back to the coach. And I just wish that I can get some more answers. And I've been pressing, I'm going to get them goddamn answers. I have to promise you that. So I hope you guys had fun. Shout out to you, Tuck Graph. I see you, Mike Law. Shout out to your fam. Much love to you. Thank you, St. Gomer. Kevin Conley, I see you, Dre Murphy. Shout out to you, Nate Frog. All the family members, man. Thank y'all. Pammy, it was pretty cool. All right, Professor. What's up, Professor? Shout out to you. Appreciate you as well. And everybody, Slim, all the family members, my boy Randolph, shout out to you. And the rest of them, Roderick says Pittsburgh, Baltimore 49ers was the worst. Yeah, those were bad losses. Saints had the worst game, and I'm gonna leave it alone. But the worst game that really kind of made me upset last year was the Pittsburgh Steelers game. We had that team. We had them. The Saints let them off the hook. The 49ers game when we got blanked 13-0, that was just so distasteful. The Saints just couldn't do anything. You could say, well, the defense was good. No, the Saints just was one and done. I was like, oh, my goodness. And just when they get a few passes going, then they punted one and done. Oh, my goodness. That was a hard season last year, man. That was a hard season on your boy, man. That was a hard season on your boy, man. That was hard, man. Oh, my goodness. That was a rough season on us last year, man. It was pretty rough. But from an instinctual standpoint, because I'm a kind of spiritual and esoteric, but the energy feels different. Not saying that, that's akin to what Dennis Allen is doing, because I still I want to know these answers about the coach. What did you go to coaching school? Did you read a book from Mike Krzyzewski or Bill Walsh or something? What did you do to improve yourself as a person to help the team win? Did you become a better motivator? Did you, that type of stuff, and probably the answer is no, I ain't do none of that shit. I just, at the end of the day, man, we just got a bunch of people here and then we're going to go out and win some games. That's it. That's what you got, coach. Yeah, we got a quarterback here, $150 million, Jamal Williams. And, we got some draft picks and we signed a few guys, read up with some guys, and go out there and win some games. What? Is that it? That's all you need? Oh, yeah. Oh, well, pardon me for, dude. Anyway, I'm going to get out on that, man. I'm done. I'm going to holler at y'all on the flip side. Y'all feel free to hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button if you're not a subscriber. Hit the share button, man. Share the show on your social media feed, Saints groups, whatnot. Shout out to our Facebook family members and our groups, the Black and Gold Mafia. Appreciate all our groups. Much love to you guys for giving us support, helping us out. And big ups, fam. And tomorrow, I'll probably pop back up here tomorrow. I don't know if I'll do a live call-in show. Tonight was fun, man, but we'll see how it goes tomorrow, man. Usually a Wednesday or Thursday, I kind of take off and have a little day there because I have other stuff that I do, the Pelican Post-Game Report, Ring Kings Boxing, and the Tough Tiger Talk shows that we do. So, and then I'm getting ready to fire off a radio show coming soon. So a lot of stuff shaking and baking, man, in the plan. So listen, I just love y'all, and I appreciate y'all for putting up with me for almost 3 hours now. And I'm gonna get out on that. But before I go, y'all feel free to join our. Hold on, let me see if I can drop the link for the family members. Join our email list. And the reason why is because a lot of family members, and I know I've been saying this a lot, and for those who heard this before, please pardon me while I tell some of the other family members about it, because a lot of people are not getting their notifications. And I just want to tell you that I have an answer for that. And I'm not going to tell you to go and hit all your buttons again and all that kind of. Shout out to my brother Trine, man. I'm just going to tell you, listen, I'm a solution-orientated person. Y'all know I'm going to get to the bottom of it. Y'all been listening to me. Y'all know me. I'm going to get to the bottom of it. So what I did do was that I set up an email list, which is very simple. It is so simple. What you do, matter of fact, I will show you how it works because it is super simple. Matter of fact, my brother Donovan, shout out to Donovan, man. Donovan was like, he did it. He's like, man, that was simple. So when you click the link in the chat, right? And I'm going to make sure I have one of the family members to put the link in our comment section when the video is over with. But it's as simple as this, right? This is the email page, the landing page that you go to. And all you do is put your email right here. You put your email there. And then what you do is once you put the email there, it's a button right up under it. It's the subscribe button. So put your email there and click the subscribe button. Bam, you good. It's really that simple. It's super simple. And listen, even if you're getting your notifications, that, still do, sign up for the email list because I'm going to be doing shows that's not on YouTube. That's going to be connected to the whothatdaily.com. And if you want to be on those shows, you're going to have, I'm on the email, sending that blast out to people on the email list. So join the email list. Don't be totally connected on this here thing. I'm just keeping it real, Join the email list. It's simple and it's free. That's all you have to do is go there, click the link, go here, put your email right here and click the subscribe button and just like that, bam. So anyway, with that being said, I'm going to get this. Okay, thank you, Trine. All right, with that being said, I'm going to get on that. Listen, I appreciate y'all, man, for chiming in. I'm going to holler at y'all on the next one. Who that? Much love.
Yeah. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Long as I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. Sports Coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like Elf. I thank God every day I'm not a felt. Go to YouTube Live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your shame for the championship. Bucking on town, duck down. Falcons, pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy, then you probably smell the crooked referees are Roger Goodell. Yeah, like this, and I'm a who that. Every day I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
TheWhoThatDaily.com. That's right, TheWhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, TheWhoThatDaily.com is your site. TheWhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us.